sanantonio.gov/health.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs signed a couple of undrafted free agents. University Texas guard Serge Rice and Alabama big man Charles Bediako. Rice inked a two-way deal, according to Woj. In the NFL, the Texans signed their third overall pick, Will Anderson Jr., to a fully guaranteed $35.2 million deal. And the Horns grabbed their future feature back, signing four-star running back Jared Gibson from IMG Academy.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up, wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left-hand slam.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
How about them Cowboys?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R, a Monday edition. I say that with a snarl, but welcome to Monday.
Howdy.
We'll get you moving the correct way. It feels like it is truly summer. I mean, like we're in it. Summer.
Oh, yeah.
The beat down.
If we're talking about heat, if we're talking about everything.
This summer. Everything
Yeah,
drying out.
I'm watching College World Series. I know it's summer.
When you told me you were watching that game yesterday, I was like, man, it must have been boring around the J house there. I know you're not a college
game
baseball
one,
fan.
yeah, game one was really good.
Yeah, game one was good.
Well, actually, LSU Wake Forest was good. You know, they had the walk-off, and then game one, and then that yesterday, I don't know what that was.
Well, for 2 innings, it was fun. But that was about all we had. We had that. We had the TPC Birdie Fest, where the winner walked away like 30 under.
Jordan's right-hand man, him and Keegan Bradley are really tight. So shout out to Keegan. Keegan always
Is that his name? Who won it?
Yeah, Keegan Bradley. He always has these exclusive Jordan golf shoes that nobody else really has. So shout out to Keegan. It's been a rough road for Keegan, but yeah, when you see 23 under wins, just know that's resort course stuff. Like, what is that?
What was it? Rory that came and said, "Yeah, this course is outdated. That technology is we've blown this course right out of the water."
Yeah, there's no business. That's when they're in like at the Bahamas. You know what I mean? Like
that's a TPC.
That's
course
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that wasn't normal.
But that is the ultimate. What do you do? Like if the pros tell you your golf course is outdated, like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No, yeah. The thing about it is now like the PGA kind of makes a note, not coming back here next year. Unless there's like a few year deal. I don't know how that works.
What if you went and played and you had the pros come in like on Monday? They play and they go, this course is way too easy. So we're going to give everybody a dead ball and no one can use a 5-iron. It's kind of like tennis on the French Open. Like, we'll go to a weird place, but yeah, if we're going to do it, let's do it.
No.
Dead ball and no one gets a 5-iron.
No. I feel you though. Anything's better than watching them just destroy a course.
I don't know if I like watching them destroy a course for one day. Maybe it's Thursday but not on Sunday.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. I like Keegan, but yeah.
So did you watch it? I didn't see any of it. None. Nil.
I've stopped by, nap, left, never went back. Then I get a text. Oh, way to go, Keegan. I was like, oh, good for Keegan. I didn't watch it though.
We discovered a series called The Black Mirror. You ever watch any of those?
Man, you're the fourth person that told me I need to watch this.
Dude, it's like 4 or 5 seasons. It's an anthology, so you can bounce around.
Oh, so I'm behind?
No, there's nothing to be behind. Every episode's different.
But it's good.
There's some good ones. There's some. It's like the Night Gallery. What was the other one? Where the every one of them's different. It's creepy.
Oh, not Tales from the Crypt.
Well, it's kind of even like that. Okay. There's 4 seasons, but every episode's different.
I went way back.
I did Night Gallery. There's one that's more famous than both that it's for whatever reason I can't bring up. But so you don't feel bad that you're behind because there's not.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I mean, hell.
But it's
What else
all
am I gonna watch?
it's all creepy stuff, man. It's techno weird stuff that I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where I just fell into it before you know it. We'd watch like 7 straight hours of it.
So,
And
well, then
I
that
have
means
nothing to
it's
show for it.
That means it's good.
Yeah,
Or you just
I
got
mean, it's
nothing.
good, but I got nothing. If I was to never see another one,
American Horror Story.
it's
Yeah,
not
there
quite
you
as
go.
good. Well, American Horror
That's
Story.
good.
Well, see, American Horror Story is a season, and it's one story for a season, and then the next year it's an entirely
You
different
don't have
story.
to have watched it, even though it's the same actors, different roles.
Right. So that you can get behind. If you show up on episode 6, there's been 5 prior. So this one is literally every episode's different. You could turn it on and go to the last episode of the season, and it's different from the week before. So that's the only difference. And I fell into that hole and couldn't dig my way out.
I did watch Guy Ritchie's The with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Is that the one where he goes back to get his Afghani translator?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Did you pay for that, or is that free now?
It was free.
Oh, is it free now?
Yeah, I forget what streaming service it was on, but I watched
strolling
it.
around. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was, again, I don't know if I like these things or like you. It's the same with you with Black Mirror. Like, I don't know if I liked it or just really didn't have anything to watch.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Gyllenhaal.
Me
so
too.
I don't think he makes.
He's really good.
Yeah, he does.
He
He's
can
an
act.
intense cat, but
Yeah, he's a really good.
But I think he's a great actor. I don't miss any of them. Although some movies are a little bit more intense. Yeah, Twilight Zone. Thank you, Luis.
Black Mirror's Generations
It
Twilight
is. That's
Zone.
exactly what it is. So I enjoyed it, and if you're looking for something, hell, you can dive right in. You're not behind on anything. And there's different stars. Like Selma Hayek was in one.
Excuse me?
Yes, and a very
Excuse
tight
me?
zippered unitard.
Excuse me? Okay.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah,
Sold.
So there's that.
Sold.
I'm
That's
still.
all why did you, that's how you
I know
started,
I buried
Rob.
the lead, but see, it's kind of like when it's the amuse-bouche. I gave you a little something.
Let me take a shot. I don't know what amuse-bouche is.
A
Take a shot of
amuse-bouche is kind of a preparatory, kind of a little bite, little something to kind of get you a little hungry. Not an hors d'oeuvre
gotcha.
quite, a little amuse-bouche, kind of cleanse your palate and prepare yourself for the next. And I kind of lured you in, and then I set the hook, and I got you.
So I get
You're
on.
like, I'll watch it.
So I get on Facebook Saturday morning. I'm going down, and then all of a sudden I see a picture of Rob. I'm interested. Rob doesn't post much, and you're
I was under orders.
You're at AT&T Center.
I was down with the Illuminati, the Glitterati.
How was it?
All the fancy types. Well, it was an interesting morning for the Wemby experience. It began down at the Arneson River Theater, where there was a TV show hosted by our good friend Sean Elliott.
Oh, okay.
And they had sent City show up, who, by the way, speaks fluent Spanish.
Who's that?
City Sissoko.
Oh, okay.
He went pro playing for Barcelona, I think, and with like 13. So he picked up Spanish among other languages. So they introduced the guys down at Arneson, and then they had a bunch of fans there. It was pretty cool. And then they loaded all those dudes up. I think they put them on a happy cab, put them in one of those horse-drawn carriages. And then they drove them all the way down Commerce to the AT&T Center, where all the cameras and all the press were set up for the official welcoming press conference. And I was down there along with Tim Spence and Jason Mennix to just see what was going on. The Saturday Morning Hangover had gone live, and we were carrying the intro.
Where did they end up broadcasting from?
Here. They were here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It would have been kind of tough to do the show from there because they would have been loud.
I got you. So they let fans in as well, right?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. There were people there that were dressed as fans, but all of them had a badge. So I don't know if they worked at the AT&T.
Dude, don't tell me they used like
it wasn't a rent-a-crowd by any stretch.
Okay,
Everybody was excited to be there. I think if they'd have given away, it'd have been a packed house. And I don't know, maybe they were season ticket holders, maybe they were AT&T types. I don't know. But lots of fans there, but they were all badged up and very, very well behaved. As this one, despite what you might have assumed, it was a very well orchestrated press conference. I mean, they had the guys in the headsets like and cue the music. 3, 2, 1. Family, look at the screen. I mean, it was very much
so
an orchestrated thing.
Seeing him in person, jaw dropping.
Rudy,
is it jaw dropping?
It's otherworldly.
It's almost weird, right? It's like this isn't real. It's almost like the bearded lady.
Yeah, and not only is he just astoundingly tall, just not kind of tall. And keep in mind, I grew up basketball.
Yeah, I know.
This dude, and the way he moves, because he's so fluid, it's like he's not touching the ground. It's like somebody is holding the puppet string swinging him along because he covers a lot of ground in just a couple of steps. I stood watching him come by, and I deliberately put my back to him, and I was going to try to get. I'm not a very professional.
You were trying to get a selfie.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get a video of him, a selfie video, whatever.
Gotcha.
So I got to where I was. I made it on TV. My ass made it on TV. I was standing next to Jason Minix, and my mom even said, "Why were you facing the wrong way when Wemby came?" Because I was facing the wrong way, trying to get a selfie with him walking by. So I had it angled to where my head was there, and then I just saw like his shoulder, so I had to tilt up the camera, so all you got was like my eyes. And
well, you tried,
dude.
Points for you can't get
so freaking big.
I'm a pretty good selfier. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how to get myself and him.
I don't know. You can't.
You can't
unless you're 10 feet away.
Right.
But if he's right beside you, you can't.
You just go get his belly button.
Pretty much. So I didn't get the full taste right then because I had my back to him.
Got you.
So I got my ass on TV, and Minix, of course, was hanging out, like waving at the camera. Minix knows where the camera is, man.
Always.
And oh, by the way, I got to send Michelle Beadle.
You said what's up to her?
She's a listener.
For real?
Yeah, she's
Beadle?
Anyway, she was right there too. So we're all trying to figure out where we were going to be when Wemby walked by. So I went ass backwards. He goes by. So it's it was at the end of the conference where I'm just kind of walking around, where he's kind of hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to really get up close to him and get. It is, it's awe-inspiring. It's hard not to stare. You just and. I've been around some big ones. That's as big as it gets, and you can drop that and keep it in a can. Coming back, let's talk about what we saw on Saturday. Wemby arrived on Friday, and to where he is now, every step of the way, and it includes some tacos. I'm not sure he knew what a taco was till he had a taco.
We got to go to go-tos. His two were pretty cliche.
Yeah, pretty much.
The two he picked. We'll go. We'll talk about it.
Coming back, it's Wembantonio, and we're doing Wemby because the day ends in Y. That's what I saw. That people were saying, you call it Wembantonio.
We're really going all in. It's getting ridiculous.
Can you see it on a shirt, Wembantonio?
I'd wear it.
We'll be right back. This is R&R here on 94.1 and SASportsStar.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz starting at 2 o'clock, Wemby weekend is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Whether you're planning a backyard barbecue, a dinner party, or just looking to unwind after a long day, Texas Cheer Liquor has you covered. Visit Texas Cheer Liquor today and experience the best selection and service in the Lone Star State. Texas Cheer Liquor.
The biggest Hollywood stars are coming to the Superhero Comic-Con and Car Show, presented by Thomas J. Henry, July 7th through the 9th in San Antonio. From the MCU, meet the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, the Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. And from Game of Thrones, stars Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington. Plus, Hawkeye's Haley Steinfeld and the Mandalorians Katie Sackhoff and Ming-Na Wen. Tickets on sale now at bmxevents.com.
This is Rudy J from R&R in the Morning. Set your alarm and wake up with us morning 6 to 10. Plenty of sports and good fun right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R here on the Star, the home, well, in the broadest sense, of Victor Wembanyama.
Wembantonio.
Wembantonio.
I like the way it rolls off.
The first time I said it, I thought, you know what? This might work. Wembantonio was christened on Saturday morning. It actually was christened on Friday. So about 1:30, Wemby arrived in San Antonio, and we had a throng of people standing out at the airport. And what a great look that was. Again, a spectacular San Antonio welcome that I don't think any other city would do anything like that. You might have people waving at you from a distance, but standing out in 105 degrees.
I keep forgetting he's a kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see him, as a tire. I'm like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
dude, what? And then I'm like, Rudy, he's 19.
And
Yeah,
also,
I forget.
he's coming with his French sensibility.
And there's nothing
too.
wrong with his
no,
attire.
not at all.
Yeah.
So he arrived. You talking about what he wore to the dinner? Because he arrives on Friday, and I don't know where they took him initially, but he obviously, they put him in the limos and they jet away. And I probably went over to the Spurs headquarters. You figure? Maybe to go tour, maybe show him the Rock or whatever.
Show him the Rock. What's coming?
Which I had a chance to go drive around there on yesterday.
Is it massive,
dude? This is one spectacular thing. He's literally walking into something extraordinary. San Mbenyama. That's a little bit hard to say, Rudy. But then he ends up having dinner, which during
Where'd they go? Anybody know?
I can't tell. If anybody has any idea, by the picture that is floating on the socials with Sean and Victor and David, and it's sad that everybody's going bald on that picture, but
Tim's hair is great.
Well, we can't tell because he's got it tied off, but anybody knows where they ate?
Well, see, I did see a picture of it at this one place that my daughter had. We had one of my 14-year-old's birthday party at Mars Pizza. It's on the northeast side.
So you think they took him to pizza?
Well, no. That he went there also.
Oh, he
that
did go to
the
Mars.
Dinner. That wasn't the dinner, but I saw a picture of him at this pizza joint.
So somebody took Wemby to a Mars pizza joint over on the northeast side. Well, that's cool. I wonder how that happened.
Good. I mean, pie is pie, I'm sure,
I wonder if he asked. I'd like some American pizza.
What pizza spot would you go to?
As far as pizza goes?
Didn't you tell me about North Italia? But you didn't get pizza at that place, right?
I've eaten in Northern Italia, but I haven't had pizza there. Where's my go-to pizza on the north side?
On any side.
Well, if I'm down on the south side, I got to go to Big Lou's. I mean, it's just kind of
Mellow
on the
mushroom,
southeast side.
Of course.
Mellow mushroom on 1604 if I'm close. I love the drop. Grimaldi's is really good. I like Frelo's out there.
The one out there burnt
on the way out, right there close to the house on Bernie's stage, where you bring your own box of wine.
Yeah.
So the pizza's pretty good after I've had half a box
you don't know what the hell.
of my Franzia, which that's always a real.
People swear by dough.
Oh, dough's good too.
People swear by dough.
Yeah, and mod pizza's not bad either. But so there's lots of good pizza around it. But I'm not quite the devotee I am.
Remember, he's 19, so pizza's probably high on the list. Like, can I get some pizza, Dad?
And I wonder if it's like American pizza versus what he's been eating in France.
See, over there, the it's not shaped like ours. Theirs is like
it's just kind of pounded out. And yeah, it's not quite as industrialized as we have it here. But I don't know why he went there, but he did get his tacos finally.
He did, Edwin. He got those tacos. Which ones did he? Go ahead. Well, see, it got me thinking. My go-to. I'm a pretty simple guy, Rob. I'm a bacon, egg, but I like potato oil in mine, and I'm a huge carne asada guy. If not all carne asada is created equal.
That's very true. See, it
like,
depends on the shop.
It needs, because sometimes they rush it and it's too hard, and it's like, this ain't it.
Well, is there a taco you use to judge? Like, if you can do this, I'll trust you on other stuff.
Carne asada and barbacoa.
I think carne is a good barometer. Let's listen to Wemby on the taco syndrome.
The question that we all are dying to know right now is, have you gotten your breakfast tacos?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I love breakfast tacos.
Do you remember which ones you had, or did you just scarf them down?
Bacon and eggs and beans and cheese.
Bean and cheese. Bean and cheese.
Beans.
That's a staple, man. Good answer.
Beans and cheese.
You're going to eat a lot of those. We're going to put some weight on you, biggin.
He eats swine. Shame for Wemby. Leave that swine alone.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Pass the bacon.
Beans and cheese. You know what? I because I hate beans, I don't eat bean and cheese. I don't like beans.
You don't like refried beans either?
No, I'm not a bean guy. So
how'd you marry into that family?
She hates it.
How on
her
earth?
Her whole family hates that. And the reason
you have access to the good stuff too. You got grandma beans.
Yeah, the reason they hate it is because, like, let's say she's gonna do fideo, they can't do loco because of me.
Wow. So you are a detriment.
So sometimes they were like, we want to do loco, but Rudy doesn't eat beans. Or they'll do two different pots. And then my mother-in-law.
That's love there.
Yeah, my mother-in-law, she knows to separate my tamales, because sometimes she'll do the bean tamale. She knows not to put those in my pile. So they look out for me.
What if we threw some chorizo in there with the bean?
No,
not enough. Just can't do it. I got you. Is it a texture thing?
Yeah,
I got you.
It's just mushy. Weird.
Yeah, I understand. That's more than anything else. I think most people are turned off by foods, not for their taste, but their texture.
Yeah.
For the ones that I know people like, I can't do it. It's the texture that gets them, not the food itself. So he had his tacos.
What's your go-to, Rob?
Again, it really good. Like if I know where you're going,
right,
I'll ask for, like, if you're going to Bill's, you better come country and egg. You're coming back with that. But if you there's a place down the street from me called Aguascalientes, which they do a tripas, which is not Slurpee. I hate Slurpee tripas. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Damn, Rob, you going tripas with your taco?
Okay. They do
I'm impressed.
It's like a little bit crispier. I'm down with that, but I would never order that anywhere else ever.
Just there because you trust it.
Because someone told me try it, and it's
because I thought that was like a fiesta thing, like crispy tripas during fiesta.
It kind of is, but they put it in their tacos, a little bit of crunch, and you get that tripas flavor, which I like. It's kind of, you know what it is.
I know what you're talking
about. But I would never, ever just find another one and order tripas from just like I call them RMRs, and if at a random Mexican food restaurant, I would never do that. But I think you're always safe. You're always safe with your potato and egg, man. That if you're unsure, how do you screw that up?
Yeah, you can't. But you can't. That's what's. So it was Bliss. I've been there. They went to Bliss.
Oh, they went to Bliss.
I've been there with my wife on a date night.
That makes sense.
Very nice place.
It's foodie. It's a foodie joint and low key because obviously Victor didn't pack well.
No.
He wore his bathing suit.
Rob, he packed well. That's just he's 19.
He's 19. He looks like my 19-year-old son would have showed up for dinner.
That's exactly. My daughter walks out the house, my 15-year-old now, anyway, walks out the house homeless, and she tells me it's a compliment when I tell her that.
As long as we're talking about outfits, can we talk about Manu and his culottes? Are you at any point ever allowed to wear culottes? The only way you can is if you are a naturalized American citizen. Well, if you grew up someplace else, you're allowed to walk around in culottes.
Well, first off, I'll say this. I can't pull those off.
No one can.
But Manu looked good in this pants.
He looked like it. No, he didn't. He looked like he was. It looked like he was playing ball for South Alabama in 2004.
No, Rob, that's very trendy. And he wanted to impress Wemby with some fashion sense. And you see, he didn't go with the regular white tee like Tim. He went with the scoop neck, the scoop bottom. It's very trendy. Manu looks good. Sean,
I'm just glad they weren't jorts.
Sean is the only one. Sean and David are the only one that remembered they were adults.
Well, I appreciate David in the Wayubera, number one. That's the sign of a middle-aged man.
Tim is strict. Tim looks like he rode in on a Harley.
Oh yeah. Notice the boots. Tim.
The boots with the tongue flapping.
Tim, come on.
Hey, Tim's come a long way.
Yeah, the white T-shirt.
And when you the best power forward of all time, you wear what the hell you want. But I can't believe you don't like Manu's pants.
No, I don't. Culottes, man. Culottes to the middle, flare bottom.
And guess what?
Pants that go to the middle of your calf.
Guess what, Rob? They're going to be all on your social media feed now because you've talked it into your phone. Now you're going to get a bunch of ads for culottes.
What's the male version of culottes?
Those are considered just high water.
They're
just high water. It's just a high water cut. You know what I mean? It's slim cut.
If I walked in tomorrow wearing those, I know you'd go, hey, did you buy those for yourself?
First of all,
did you pick those out?
First of all, I would applaud the effort. I would applaud the effort. I just don't know. You'd applaud that's like bless your heart. Yeah. But it looked good, man. I'm happy. Anybody else should have been at that dinner?
No, that's it. That's it.
Where the hell
Maybe
is
Tony. Tony should have been there. Tony ain't even in the country. I don't know where Tony is, but Tony, should have been there. But other than that, remember that movie that came out during the lockdown or very soon after, where they talk about the dinner the night when like James Brown, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, all were together in Miami.
Miami night.
This was one of those things that I think when we look back on the history of the Spurs,
right,
and we talk about what was sooner and what will be all kind of rolled together. What a night. You think they bought him a beer?
I agree.
You think he drank some wine, bought him a beer? You think David allowed that at the table?
Hell no.
David's like, we abstain, young man.
If somebody of this five had too many, who would it be?
Oh, Manu.
Is Manu?
Manu.
I'm gonna win Sean. I think Sean looks to me like the guy that can knock off a bottle of wine.
Oh yeah.
Sean looks like, I don't know if Sean drinks or not, but I'm just judging him. I don't know why I'm judging him, but yeah. Rob, what do you feel like? What's going on? Why don't we feel crop pants? Okay,
crop pants.
Do you feel like we treat ice the way we should? And I'm not saying he should have been at this dinner, but I feel like sometimes, like they do stuff, and then they're all sitting there, and then everybody's like, "Did anybody call ice? I didn't tell him. I thought somebody else." It feels like they do all these events, and then they get there and they realize they didn't invite ice. What is his? How's his? I don't know if you know.
An interesting question. Because
we all have that guy.
About.
We all have that guy. We all get together. We're having a good time.
Anybody call ice?
Yeah.
I thought you called it. You didn't? Oh man!
And then somebody will say, "Every time I call him, he got something to do, so I stopped calling."
Stop calling him. And I lost his number. New phone.
Do we? Ice? I don't feel like. I feel like we leave ice out, man. I feel like we always forget to invite ice to the barbecue, man. Like, or somebody calls him the day of, and he's like, "Dude."
You know, Ice is a good dude. I don't know why you wouldn't want to hang with him. He's not one of those in my day guys. He's not. Well, maybe he kind of is. And if he is, he deserves to be. It is strange that I didn't even consider the fact. Because I didn't look at this as the Mount Rushmore.
I don't know if he should be there, but it just feels like...
he should have been there. No, in hindsight, they should have had him there, at least for the optics. You're right. But it's funny how we didn't even bring that up.
Look, YouTube, Joshua Menace says, "Isn't Ice at the age where bedtime is 7
Well, there was. I was going to go.
Ice is a hang. Ice can hang. Ice still walking around looking good, cracking jokes. Don't do that."
Speaking of, Ice is getting his own statue and name. He's officially being recognized by Central. Where'd he go to school? Eastern Michigan.
Only 50 years late.
So they're giving him a statue.
Is it him sitting on the ice sculpture with the two ice? That's the only statue I should have. And that may be one of the best sports pictures of all time.
It was in my room.
It was
from when it came out to when my parents moved. I remember when we were moving out, I walked in that poster.
You see now
Farrah
the fact
Fawcett
that
beside him.
Jesus.
Both of them equally exciting for a lot of different ways.
The fact that you could say that just proves what we just talked about. Like, damn, man, can y'all invite Ice to the barbecue sometimes? Somebody make sure we can invite Ice.
You know, if Wemby cut his teeth watching Pete Maravich videos, he might have even known who Ice was.
He was watching Pete Maravich.
You haven't heard this story? So his first little dribblers basketball coach.
Yeah.
Didn't really know basketball, but he knew enough. So he got his hands on a Pete Maravich VHS tape for a basketball skills tape made back in the early 80s and learned it front to back and then took all those skills drills and started teaching Wemby. So Wemby started learning basketball under the Pete Maravich.
And you know what's crazy about that?
You can see it.
Yeah, what's crazy about that, Rob, is Pete's style was so anti whatever was being coached. Yeah. It's crazy to have a video of him at that time because then, like, why are you going between your legs? Why are you going behind your back? It's not fundamentally sound. Just do what you need to do. Rocker step, jab step. Here comes Pete, between the legs, behind the back, shooting threes.
He even mentioned that the guy that coached him early on showed up at the draft. He was like the guy, craziest basketball guy's ever known, like fan, and he was at the draft. So he learned at that. So you figure he has that little bit of ice in there, but I'm not sure he would have known who the hell he was.
That's fair.
So maybe that's it. And maybe more like Ice had to be home early, which is a joke for anybody that knows Ice.
Yeah. He ain't home early.
He ain't never been home early in his life.
I'm biased because he gave me my first job. My first job as a kid was I worked for the George Gervin Youth Center. That gave me a job out at Kelly Air Force Base. I was the little mail kid. I walked around dropping off all the mail to the different officers and stuff like that. And they would take us to SeaWorld on Fridays and Fiesta, Texas. And so I'm forever indebted and grateful to the George Gervin Youth Center, man. That was
Ms. Hawkins and everybody else over there.
Man,
They've done a lot of good work.
Put me out there. Everybody, great times out at Kelly. Remember Kelly?
I grew up right across the street.
That's right.
Very, very accustomed to Kelly Air Force Base. Spent some memorable times, both legally and illegally, running around that base. Hey, that's the beginning of the Wemby era, and it is going to continue not only for the foreseeable future, but certainly on our show. But coming back, we're going to hear from Troy Aikman. I'm glad you brought this up because he brought up why the Cowboys haven't been successful.
Kind of
The man has a remarkable grasp of the obvious.
I know. I'm like, damn,
Shouldn't we?
That's all you could come up with.
Well,
but
I think it's more a symbol of today's date more than the news itself, as we are in the throes of a hot summer July, and the only thing going to get us through is fine talk radio. Continue with that. Troy Aikman talks about why the Cowboys haven't been more successful. We'll look back at the draft very closely at the other dudes that went second, third, and fourth. And we'll also continue talking Cowboys just after 7 o'clock. 5 players the Cowboys are putting a whole lot of faith in. 3, we agree. 2, there might be some more faith we need to throw their direction. Lots coming your way. We just need you to stay where you are. That's on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
Are you feeling overwhelmed after your car wreck? Call the wreck experts at Hilly & Solis. Hey, it's Rudy J, and I want you to know that Hilly & Solis understand the physical and emotional and financial toll that car wrecks have on your life. They're going to listen to your story, answer any questions you may have, and they're going to fight hard to get you all the compensation you so deserve. They've seen it all. They're former prosecutors, and they know how to win. When the medical bills and the insurance claims and the legal complexities leaving you feeling lost, Hilly & Solis are going to guide you every single step of the way, and they're going to hire not only the top medical, but also the top technical experts to support your claim. Time is of the essence. Their deadline is to file claims. Don't wait to get the legal help you need. Hilly & Solis are experienced litigators. Let them fight for your rights and financial freedom. Call Hilly & Solis for a free, no obligation consultation now. 210-762-61. That's 210-762-6261. 210-762-6261.
Principal office in San Antonio, Texas. Message brought to you by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. Or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-652-5656. 800-652-5656. That's 800-652-5656.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and the little thing I love about Chick-fil-A spicy chicken biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the spicy chicken biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
O'Reilly.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
When traveling to see A&M in College Station, make sure you bring along the guys from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Listen anywhere on the Odyssey radio app. R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Top of the morning.
It's R&R here on San Antonio Sports Star. He's Rudy. I'm Rob. Edwin driving this boat for the next several hours. We're glad you're here with us today. Man, it opened the door this morning. Summer going to punch you right in the nose.
Dude.
It is all of that.
It's this humidity is getting on my nerves. I'm used to the heat, but this humidity's been different this year.
I was hoping that the extreme heat would kill the mosquitoes, and we haven't been lucky enough for that to go down. We do have a bit of breaking news. And This is huge news. This comes after a couple of dinners, and we've talked about this. Victor Wemby has announced that he is reversing his decision and will not play for France in the World Cup and focus his rookie season with the Spurs and then on the 2024 Olympics. So not focusing on the big stuff.
Put on your French glasses. How you feel?
I'm not happy.
Or are you happy for him and you understand?
You know where the Olympics are?
The Olympics in 2024 are in Paris.
Yes. So then they'll have him, they hope, for the Paris Olympics. So he's not doing FIBA, I think, is in Thailand. I don't know exactly where the FIBA is. So what do you think this means? As will we get to see more of him at the rookie league coming up in a week and a half? We'll tell you later. We have a schedule.
Yeah, Wemby's still planning to play in at least some of the Spurs Summer League games in July. So I don't know if that's Cali. I don't know if it's Cali and Vegas. I don't know if it's just Vegas.
It ain't Cali.
But, well, the thing about it is I know the FIBA means a lot to the rest of the world.
It does.
But I guess it's a good decision on his part. Get ready for the Spurs season.
It's not.
That's a lot of basketball, considering he just finished and then the Summer League and then FIBA. That's a lot.
And also, we talk
now
about
I see why Pop said the other day, we're still discussing that.
Yeah.
That hasn't been decided yet.
I imagine they probably took a number like over the next 365 days, we'd like to see you play in 80 games. And we'll figure out what those 80 games are.
Yeah, he said, quote, "It would not be realistic in terms of development and not prudent in terms of health." That's a quote from Wemby. That's what he told. And here we go. Back to Tony's old paper. La creep.
The second part of that about the development. And I think that's the primary thing that if I'm Pop and I'm the assistant coaches is, I got to get this guy out of FIBA mode. I got to get this guy out of international basketball mode. And I got to get him to start thinking in NBA mode, because those are two different games.
Well, he said that, the Spurs would have supported the decision, but he did also quote himself, Rob, saying, I hope people will understand. It said it's frustrating for me too. France is still central for me. I want to win as many titles with that team as possible. Necessary sacrifice. So he knows this isn't going over well. That's why I asked you, put on your French glasses.
They're not happy.
They ain't gonna be. That's why he said, I hope everyone will understand. This is a big deal to them. Like, dude, like, you're the biggest star in the world right now, and you say screw us for Vegas Summer League?
Well, can you imagine? I'm trying to equate this to like Christian Pulisic. Is he the greatest American soccer player?
Yes.
Okay, so he decides I ain't playing in the World Cup. I'm going to continue practicing for Paris Saint-Germain
or whatever.
Like what? You're going to do what? And practice with who?
Oh
so
yeah, no. I'd be hot.
I get it, but if I'm Pop, this weekend has worked.
That's to be honest, that's worthy of another celebration. Because I didn't think there was because remember when we first started talking about this, we were like, look, Summer League may get pushed to the side. There's no way he misses the FIBAs, and he did.
So we do hope there's schedules with him and Scoot and him and Brendan Miller. We'll give you the lineup as we do know when and if or when the Spurs are going to play. Now whether he's out on that team, we do know that Jeremy Sohan's playing. And Blake and Malik.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Yeah, those guys. It's going to be a nice little Summer League. They better win the damn Summer League.
I'll tell you what. If
they better win the whole damn thing.
That better be a highly contending team. And you know what? Think about it. All the extra games you get if you keep winning. There is some benefit to this. It's kind of like bowl practice if you're a college football team. You get a little bit of extra run with your young guys if you win some extra games.
Yeah. Dude. I can hear sports talk radio in France today because I'm telling you what they're going to be saying. They're going to be saying, dude, the Joker just went all the way to the NBA Finals. He's playing. I'm sure Luka's playing. Like, there's a lot of guys that play just as much basketball that are going to play.
Do you think
they're older?
Do you think Spurs Pop have built up a little bit of credit because Parker and Diaw always came back home and played.
No, that's why he said they would have supported whatever. I think this was a decision by his group, him and his group. I don't think the Spurs had anything to do with it. Because one, you get in trouble. But number two, they're used to it and they get it. And they were just they were just lighting candles and praying he would be okay. I actually think this just shows how much in control of this guy's career is in his own hands. And he's, even though he's 19, he's surrounded by a bunch of good people, I guess, and he's calling his own shots.
It's a very mature decision.
Yeah, man, and a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as soon as you get drafted, you turn your back on the country? How dare you?
Now, he mentioned that, when he got here, had a rather busy week and hadn't had a lot of chance to do a lot of things. He's headed up to Portland.
The Nike compound.
Headed up to the Nike compound for the
Phil
royal
Knight
treatment
shows up for that, right?
Oh, yeah. We've seen Air.
Because, sometimes, Nike, they got so many people. Phil Knight skips a couple guys. I think Phil Knight's there to greet him, right?
Can you imagine what it'll be like? How you're treated when you roll in. Have you ever seen the Nike campus?
Yes, only on the internet. I've never been there.
I mean, I've never been on the campus. I'm just saying, like,
it's
so you get escorted into this top secret.
And like for guys like you and I, Rob, that's the holy grail because we love shoes. Like, how many they'd have to kick me out of there.
Before I arrived here, the year before I arrived on the Star back then, Datwin and Minix and the other guys went up to an RV Navy game and the game was played in, I think it was DC at the time. And Under Armour's headquarters
is in Baltimore.
Right. And Dat had a back door into the Under Armour. So they got to go take a tour of the Under Armour scene, like where things were being engineered and designed, had access to the company's store, and do all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine getting
to Nike?
To go to Nike and, hey, Vic, go pick out whatever you want.
Just go.
Just go pick out whatever you need back in
what
the
section
VIP
do you
room.
take him to? The 20. He wears a 20 and a half.
It's Nike. You're going to find it. And if you can't find it, we'll have it made somewhere in Southeast Asia, and it'll be jetted to your home sometime tomorrow.
Isn't that what they do, though? When you sign with Nike, they just tell you go grab it.
Yes, I've heard stories of you show up and you get to go walk through the company store and just pick out whatever you want. When I worked at EA Sports, when we had the dignitaries, the voice types come in, we had a little back company store where all the games that we manufactured, the employees could get them cheap, but you could only get so many per month or whatever. Well, we'd let the dignitaries walk through. I remember, who was the one? Erin. What's her name?
Erin Andrews.
Erin Andrews walked back there. She probably left with $1,000 in video games.
She probably gave them away.
Oh yeah, but she took one of everything. I mean, so can you imagine the walkthrough that you get at Nike?
And then your Wemby. Yeah, it's a little different.
They have a whole Wemby area. I wonder how soon it'll be before he gets a
Wemby Air.
I don't know. See, there's that old axiom that big men can't sell shoes.
I'm trying to think of a big man shoe that I liked. I liked the no.
I mean, Shaq had his Reeboks for a while, but never really. It was more of a brand thing. But if you were running around in Shaq Gnosis shoes, you probably weren't very good.
Rob? No.
See what I'm saying?
I don't want
the
no
old
big
axiom
man
is
shoe.
big men just don't move shoes. So you wonder what Wemby is going to do if he's going to get a signature pair.
Because the shoe has to, it has to be heavy enough for them. It has to be a little bit bulky because they're bigger. It's just, ugh.
And it just,
I did like Garnett's first Nikes. They had like this ocean blue in them. They were fire, but that was about it.
And
but
that's been what, 25 years ago?
Easy.
So that old axiom doesn't. But the good news is Wemby will arrive for training camp refreshed and renewed, not having played
for Wemby. I'm
for
shocked.
the French squad. Maybe they feel like they don't need him to. We'll just roll out with maybe City Sissoko goes, hey, I'm in.
Yeah, that's big. That's breaking news for real. Okay.
Hey, we're going to tell you what Troy Aikman had to say about why the Dallas Cowboys have not been successful in a few. But coming back, Wemby, Miller, and Scoot, those are the three stars. When are they going to see each other in Summer League? We got the Summer League schedule, and we'll tell you next. This is R&R, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. You know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds offer big, bold flavors like sea salt and cracked black pepper, spicy dill, and Korean barbecue. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein, bacony crunch. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Learn more at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over as long as 5 years with special financing, or save up to $5,000 on the spot. It's our best finance offer ever and our most aggressive pricing. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable, but this amazing offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Mr. W. Fireworks, home to the lowest price fireworks around. Our prices are 50 to 80% lower than our neighbors. 50 to 80% lower prices. Now that's a lot of savings. Shop early with us and save even more. Buy one, get one free on select items at all Mr. W. Fireworks San Antonio locations. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. MrWFireworks.com. Light up your 4th of July with Mr. W. Fireworks. Look for the Big 8 and save big only at Mr. W. Fireworks.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
This is Rudy J from R&R in the Morning. Join us weekday morning, 6 to 10. We'll have plenty of sports and good fun right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
It's R&R. We're glad you're with us here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Starting a fine week of sporting news and really one of the slower times of the year.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we all realize it. We're headed toward the All-Star break.
Just get us to training camp.
That's all we can do. Get us there. But in the meantime, the NBA will continue to offer us little nuggets like as we went into the weekend. The Summer League schedule has been released, and we know that this one will be as eagerly anticipated as any of the others in the past. I think that the Summer League really took shape when the first Ball brother came out, right? That was really when we started really paying attention.
It was a packed house, and we were like, we wanted to see what LeVar was talking about.
I mean, it was all that, not that we didn't pay attention to it before, but really it took national stage and national TV coverage once the LeVar started showing up. But from that point on, it now has become part of the sporting landscape. We look forward to that first week in July, and NBA certainly understands we're coming, so we get the chance to see all the stars and the young kids play each other. Last year, we got to see Wemby play Scoot as a kind of a precursor. Remember,
that was like a little
in
friendly,
Vegas little thing,
a little friendly Ignite versus his Mets 92 or whatever. I think he was on a different team at that time, wasn't he?
Whatever. Yeah, it was kind of an international travel squad kind of thing. So yeah, they're going to offer it to us, and we're going to get to see him pretty early.
I'm down. I mean, so Friday, July 7th.
So that would be, what's today? The 26th. So that would be a week from Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, a week from Friday. All right.
They're going to start out at the Thomas and Mack versus Brandon Miller and the Charlotte Hornets.
Broadcast nationally at 8 o'clock on ESPN. The
serious?
First of Wemby's national broadcast games. We start right out the gate, baby.
They're putting that on ESPN?
Yes. Are you kidding?
To see him go through the layup line and sit down?
Well.
Then that Sunday, Rob, Scoot versus Wemby on ESPN2.
The rematch from a year ago.
Then on my birthday, July 11th, they're going to play the Wizards, who have Jordan Poole now, but he won't be at Summer League.
They got Bilal, though. He'll be playing against his boy. Bilal Kulovic.
That's right. And then you get on the Friday the 14th, the Spurs versus Detroit.
So that's the pool play, 7th and 9th, 11th and the 14th. And then depending on their record, they can progress toward a Summer League championship.
Well, if Brenham and Wesley and Shohan and Wemby sometimes, they better advance.
You can attend if you go to NBAevents.com. I have a feeling that the tickets are going fast.
What? Hell yeah, they are. Because one, don't get it twisted. Of course, it's about Wemby, but I mean, you get Scoot, you got Brandon Miller. This is a star-studded Summer League.
And the way it's being presented, I mean, they know exactly.
It's an event now. People just go out there. I know your brother goes sometimes.
Yeah, it's
an event.
And they were going to sell.
Regardless.
And their proximity to LA, depending, I think that a lot of the attendance comes out of LA in our experience. So if there's somebody of note that's coming out of LA to be there, you see a lot of Laker gear, a lot of Laker swag as they roll around. So skipping the FIBAs, if you're just joining us, Wemby has announced just a couple of minutes ago that he will skip FIBAs to focus on his regular season, though he does expect.
That is shocking news to me.
To play in the Olympics, which will be a home field. He'll be playing in Paris in 2024, and you expect he probably won't have to try out for it. Just be able to walk right on the squad.
Got a YouTube question for you, Rob.
I'm listening.
At Rob, is that a Wayubeta
yes,
you're wearing?
It is
very
in fact
nice.
A Wayubeta that I'm wearing. Notice the
very nice
stitching.
Those things ain't cheap.
This one, you know what?
They're not cheap.
No, they're not. But a well-made one will last you a lifetime.
True.
I got this one down. I bet this thing is probably 15 years old. I actually got this in Merida. I got it from a little place like right off the beach.
I think you're gonna wear that, Rob. You get to come out of coffee retirement.
I'll tell you, I wore this.
You got to wear coffee.
No. So I'm proud of my Wayuberas. I take them places.
I like
it because one, they're comfortable and they hide my belly, and they, they're the perfect middle-aged guy. If I'm not wearing a Columbia fishing shirt, put on a Wayubera. They serve the same purpose. And then if you're swimming, you put on a swim shirt and you're covered all the time.
Right.
But I had this on in Miami, just on a Super Bowl Radio Row morning. I just wore it I took it down for the Super Bowl. Well, I walked out in my Wayubera, and everybody who was employed in the Miami Beach Convention Center was wearing this one. They all I looked like I was part of the help.
You look like a valet.
I looked like the guys that were serving coffee and sweeping the floors. They were all wearing this shirt. So I could have walked into the kitchen and just like grabbed a plate of food, walked out. I was literally wearing the same thing.
I have a white one. I love it.
I put them on. I mean, again, it's a fashion thing, but it's more of a comfort thing.
I had to buy one because it was a Wayu at a party.
Oh yeah. Would you ever go down to Pinner's?
I don't remember Pinner's.
Pinner's old school. Right across the street from the San Antonio City Hall. Pinner's has been down there 100 years, I think.
It's still there?
You get the professional fit.
Yeah, see, I need it tailored.
Oh, dude, they
hook you up.
Soup to nuts, baby. That's a little bit of old school service, craftsmanship. Pinners. That's where you could, when I was growing up, and all you guys on the South Side, when I was growing up, that's where you went and got your Tangerine Stacy's. Tangerine Stacy's, baby. The guys that were older than me. I never wore them. I never could pull it off.
Orange Stacy Adams.
They're not orange. It's kind of a brown.
Oh, I know what
they're
you're
not
talking about.
Tangerine orange, but they were called. That was the
I know
color
what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then they would get their heels taken off, shaved off, so you had kind of that gangster lean back.
Lord,
that's Southside right there.
There was a thing.
That's Southside 70s, right?
The heel down.
Yeah, they'd cut the heels back so you get that lean, the Tangerine Stacy's.
Nice.
Oh no, it also says comfort, Hector. I'm a fan of the comfort side of things, but it does, in fact, nothing does say Hispanic more than a Wayubera. I hope. Did you see David? David had his on meeting Victor. I mentioned Wemby's French. Yeah, go back and look at it. He's got. I bet you could find that at Pinner's.
Shout out to Pinners.
This is a non-paid.
Yeah, I don't know Pinners, but I've shout out to them. If they've been in the city 100 years, I got to give them some props.
Right, I have a feeling it's been at least that long. Yeah. We are getting this symbol to break. Hey, coming back, we got all kinds of stuff going on in the 7 o'clock hour. This brand new clock. Wait till you get a load of what's coming. Don't go anywhere because there'll be nowhere to go. You're on R&R, and this is 94.1, the San Antonio Sports Star. And what did it get this week? At 105, 106, probably 110 this week, and continue all summer long. Yeah, it's going to be a brutal summer down here in South Texas. We're used to that, but because we're so used to it, we know what to expect. And one of the things that the heat brings is issues with your roof as it heats up and cools off, that expansion, contraction. Well, we know the damage that can do to your roof. So keep in mind, it might not have hailed, it might not have rained, but your roof might be suffering a little bit. And I want you to keep Roof Fix in mind. In fact, I want you to put it in your phone. Their phone number, little reverse, 210-FIX-ROOF. That's all you got to remember, 210-FIX-ROOF. Know this, that if roof fix is needed, stay prepared 24 hours a day. They're to protect you and your home from all the damage that's out there just lurking on the most important and biggest investment of your life. Their home advisors are experienced, they're knowledgeable when it comes to roof damage and leak protection. They'll bring to you over 40 years of roofing experience, and they've been doing it right from the very get-go. Dwayne Sharping and this crew of home advisors and are experts at dealing with everything that could pop up from not only your insurance companies, but everything in the middle. As far as the claims go, they've got help with your deductible. They've got they've got financing with approved credit for a variety of things. Just know this, they're going to do everything for you to get your roof repaired, fixed, replaced, whatever is required as fast as possible. They're the home of the low price guarantee. Your neighbors have all used Roof Fix. You know how they've taken care of them. Let them take care of you the same way. They're going to deliver the best service from start to finish. And that 40 plus years is going to carry on with their dedicated staff that's going to provide to you that 100% satisfaction guarantee that Roof Fix is famous for. Call them today. Keep them in your phone. The number's 210-FIX-ROOF. They're your neighbors. You call your neighbors when you're in trouble. You call your neighbors when you need help. 210-FIX-ROOF. Put it in your phone. Thank me later.
Chronic joint pain has a snowball effect. it's not just the pain.
What that did is just make me depressed that I couldn't get back into the gym, and I was inactive, gaining weight. I had to find another alternative.
And for Chad, that alternative was QC Kinetics and the non-surgical natural biologic treatments that can give lasting relief to aching hips, shoulders, knees, and backs.
Once they explained it, it made sense. Putting what we have inside our body back into us in a certain strategic way to heal up in a natural process was fantastic.
QC Kinetics treatments take place right in the office. No downtime, no surgery. And as for the outcome,
I'm just back to bouncing around, having fun, doing my work, living pain-free.
Don't let chronic joint pain rob you of your quality of life. Discover advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over as long as 5 years with special financing, or save up to $5,000 on the spot. It's our best finance offer ever and our most aggressive pricing. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable, but this amazing offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Mr. W Fireworks. Shop with us and save big on your fireworks this season. In fact, our prices are always 50 to 80% lower than our neighbors. Now that's a lot of savings. Shop early with us and save even more. Buy one, get one free on select items at all Mr. W Fireworks San Antonio locations. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. MrWFireworks.com. Look for the big ape and save 50 to 80% on fireworks only at Mr. W Fireworks. Happy birthday, America!
KTFM Floresville on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
In a bit of breaking news by Brian Windhorst, he reporting that Victor Wembanyama will not play in the FIBA World Cup this summer, saying he's going to focus on getting ready for his rookie season with the Spurs. The Longhorns snagged their future running back, signing 4-star running back Jared Gibson from IMG Academy. And also the Texans get their pass rusher Will Anderson Jr. signed to a fully guaranteed $35 million deal.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up, so wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left-hand slam. I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
He's Rudy, I'm Rob. That's the R's, Easy E. Edwin Hafner on the other side of the glass, taking us till 10. Hope you're getting your Monday started right. We'll keep you busy, keep you flowing. Don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you where you're going this hour. We're talking Cowboys as we're going to look at the 5 players that the Cowboys are putting a bunch of faith in. A couple of them might need a little bit more extra prayer. We'll dig in there. DeMarcus Lawrence was talking about his defense.
Yeah. And DeMarcus Lawrence always running his mouth.
He's talking. He's
talkative.
And, Philadelphia has certainly been a pretty good defense. He talked about the gap between the two, if there is, in fact, a gap, and who's in the lead in front of that gap. And, of course, we're talking Victory Cigars as Victor and Victory. You can't say victory without Victor, can you?
Amen. Well played, Rob.
I've noticed that all of the coaches call him Victor.
Yeah, they ain't going to go with Wemby. They're not going to walk around calling him Wemby. It's just not going to happen. Well, at least not until he gets the first title.
Before we dig in very much, the Aggie family and football in general had a terrible loss on Friday. Defensive line coach and former Texas Aggie football player Terry Price, who's been a SEC defensive line coach for 30 years. And if they are worth a crap in the NFL, whether he was here or Auburn, anywhere else, he was probably coached by Terry Price. And we know the defensive line. that Coach Price has brought through, from Von Miller to from where we sit now. Many, many guys passed through. What a sad and terrible loss to the football community.
No. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, gone is gone, but no.
I haven't
they don't
heard
know
yet.
a
It
reason.
sounds, guys of my age, there's a term that you just kind of quiver, the widowmaker. It sounds like a widowmaker to me. I have no idea. That sounds like a massive coronary to me. A sudden and awful loss to anybody involved in football, and thoughts and prayers go to anybody who knew or loved Coach Price. What a sad, sad way to start the weekend. Let's prop things up a little bit. Now, the Cowboys have a very talented football team. I've seen a list where they're considered in the top 5, top 10 top 5 as far as total talent from top to bottom. But it's crazy when you think at who the Cowboys are relying on the most. It's not always the stars. It's not always just the guys that we talk about as 5 stars or the highly paid vets. It's others that really make the difference. We saw that with Belichick for years. A couple, 3 that mattered, but the other ones were really what won the Super Bowls. And when you look at the Cowboys, before we give the list, who are the 5 most important players in your mind, as opposed to this list, that have to have success for the Cowboys to even dream of going where they think they need to be?
Can I just make the offensive line one?
I know.
As one? Can I just do one? Because I need Steele, I need Smith. I don't want to use up the whole list on the offensive line. So I'm going to just say the offensive line because I need Steele to be healthy. I need Tyron Smith to be healthy so they're not playing Tetris or Jenga with the offensive line all year. Of course, Dak Prescott in the new offense. Tony Pollard, how he'll respond to, 1, being the number 1 back, and number 2, coming off of a broken leg. The tight end position, either Ferg or Hendershot, whoever gets to start, they're going to be really important as well.
So you're not even looking on defense. It's funny how you lean just about exclusive.
Because
most lists are going to say Micah, Trayvon off the top.
No, because I feel like the defensive side of the ball is the best side.
But what happens if Micah or Trayvon don't have that's the kind of year that we are expecting, the faith that we're putting there? I mean, is it that big of a decrease? I'm not saying you're not right, but
yeah. You know what, Rob? If they do, then that's on McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer to pick them up. Again, this defense in a division game on the road held San Francisco to 19 points. You're supposed to win that game. So I trust the defense, but even if they do take a step back, then that's on McCarthy and Dak and Schottenheimer to make sure they pick them up. Because sometimes, it's like a seesaw. Some years your offense is better, some years your defense. The defense has been at the top of this, holding them down for quite some time now.
They're the best offense in the league the last couple of years.
Yeah, they have, but I still think the defense is better, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, you asked me the 5 Cowboys that need to have the season.
Who you got?
In my mind, it is Trayvon. It is Micah. It is Smith. You can pick a Smith on the offensive line. You pick one. You can say Tyler. I don't care. Yeah. T. Smith. You pick that.
Pick one.
You pick one. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. If you ask me, who are the 5? Not Pollard. I think this is still a passing league, and I do err on the side of offense. But if those 5 show up, it's hard for me to think that we're going to have a tough one. Who would you switch out? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Those are our phone line numbers. There's a for sale sign there. If you're looking to sponsor a phone line number that gets mentioned many times in a radio broadcast throughout the day, we have a for sale sign right there. That's just a little statement. Reach out to Morgan Harrison, Morgan.Harrison, alphamediausa.com.
Neither one of us mentioned Mozzie.
And
the reason we probably missed on that one is because while he's a rookie, Rob, they're expecting him to come in, start, and fix their biggest problem on defense, which is stopping the run.
Do you really think they're expecting him to come in and start? Because I'm not hearing a lot of that. I'm not hearing that. Dude, I'm reading.
They took that.
Be patient.
If you draft that position that high, he better come in and have an impact. I'm not saying he's got to be Aaron Donald overnight, but they should take a few yards per carry off of what they gave up last season. I would think that was their one pimple on defense. They did struggle stopping the run.
I'm trying to find the article that I literally read over the weekend that the headline was Mozzie Smith, Cowboys are staying patient.
I don't like that. That means they ain't liking what they're seeing so far.
Well, when I saw that, it just
I'm gonna
made
give him
me
3
think,
years, but I would think, no, like Will McClay, you convinced Jerry, hey, we've never had this opportunity. You know, with that audio that leaked, we never had this opportunity. We have him here. Let's do it. And Jerry said, you know what? Let's do it. No, he's got to come in and make an impact. This is football. In basketball, you're like, hey, you know what? He's 19, he's 18. His body got to develop. Wait, football, first round picks, you got to perform.
Now, I went heavy star on the 5 that
Yeah,
must
you did.
perform.
You went all stars.
Well, there's a reason why they're stars to me.
Yes, there's a reason.
Now, the writer of this article, Jesse Haney, who is a great one, you can go check the article out for sure on bloggingtheboys.com. He highlighted kind of the other dudes that if they do step up, if those guys step in and we get what we expect from stars, then things will be great. That's the way I look at it. So Michael Gallup led the list here.
That is huge because Michael Gallup, I think he's back his deal. He had CD and he had Amari Cooper. So there was a lot of times Gallup was getting to play one-on-one. You know, every jump ball Dak threw toward him, he caught it. He was healthy. Their best, I would say, tough ball catcher on the team.
Best high pointer.
Yeah,
for sure.
def high pointer. Brandon Cooks, CD Lamb. If Gallup gets back to where I think he will be as far as health-wise, oh, he's going to have a big year.
But the assumption is if Gallup is good and CD is – now, I would go if Gallup suddenly starts taking catches away and CD is not having that kind of year, I'm not sure how much this helps the offense. But if – you know what I mean? I mean, if it's still –
oh, no, they'll still – I mean, even if you got to put him in the slot, they'll find a way to get CD the ball.
Make sure the touches happen. Now, they also went offensive line heavy like you did. Can we name just one position group? But he went with the tackles, Smith and Steele.
Steele is huge because if he can't go right away, then now I got to move Tyron Smith back to right. Then I move Tyler Smith back to left tackle. Now I'm looking at my left guard. Now I'm going into my depth for the left guard position. So I get why they went with Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele is important. But still, I mean, Smith is just as important, speaking of Tyron, because he hasn't played a full season since 2015. You know, after 4 years missing at least 3 games, things have gone off the rails. He's missed 31 games since 2020. 31.
He's only 32. I felt like he is older. I don't know why.
He's only 32?
He's only 32.
I thought he was 40.
I know. I don't know why it feels like he's been there forever because he certainly acts like it. But only 32 years old. The Terrence Steele thing is probably low key as far as storylines to watch once.
You think he's going to start the season, or you think he's going to start him on the PUP list? But if you put him on the PUP, then he has to miss 6 games.
Yes. So
I hope they don't put him on the PUP and they kind of go week by week.
Because the worst case scenario is they start out the season behind the 8 ball already, because every snap that you get from Tyron now is one you're not going to get later. So, no matter what side he gets, I buy it. Now, moving on from the offensive line, he threw, of course, Tony Pollard. And I get it. I think if we're going to be everything that Coach McCarthy has told us this offense is going to be, he told us that this is going to be a run-first offense. He told us that this is going to be predicated on complementary football, then you'd expect Pollard to have a really good year.
That's a deep room. And also another, piece, since we're talking about Tony Pollard, another piece I read on Blogging the Boys was they felt like the Cowboys, just in case, should go and get Leonard Fournette as a just in case piece. But I feel like, with Ronald Jones, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Tony Pollard, that's a deep room. And, you can go by committee. We've seen that with the Chiefs. We saw it with Philly. You can use 3 or 4 guys if need be. So while Pollard needs to have a good year, let's say, he takes a year to recover the same way Gallup did, I think the room's deep enough to where they'll be okay.
Is average good enough
for Pollard?
No, not Pollard. I'm just talking about the room. If say Pollard isn't back, for whatever reason, that ankle just ain't there. And they have to go and get a pedestrian 3 backs, total 1,200 rushing yards. I mean, is that enough? It could be. I don't know.
I think it needs to be a little above average. When I look at, and let's put Patrick Mahomes aside, but when I look at the teams that had success this year, I mean, I look at Cincinnati, I look at San Francisco, I look at Philly, they all ran the ball really well. They ran the ball above average.
Now
I think when you don't have an elite quarterback, when you don't have Patrick Mahomes, I think you need an above average run game. Not great, but you can't just be pedestrian. It's got to be a little bit above pedestrian.
So of the 5, what is the most important position of success? Now, obviously, you'd throw down Dak at quarterback.
But left tackle, right tackle.
But if it's left tackle, right tackle, tailback, wide receiver, tight end, I don't care position.
Edge rusher, wherever. Right.
Name the most important, the first piece that has to be successful. Not the guy, but the position.
Putting quarterback on the back burner?
Well, no, it's obvious quarterback's got to be there. But you could still put it there it could be so important that without that, there's no next step.
Tackle. It's your tackle.
So it has to be the offensive line predicates everything following that.
And not only that, it can't just be offensive line. They also have to get time together and play a bunch of games together. Continuity, a word that Mike McCarthy uses quite a bit. For me, it's offensive line, hands down.
Now, the comparisons to defenses across the NFC are going to be pretty consistently high for the Dallas Cowboys, and they're compared most often with the other two that we deal with regularly. That's the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagle defense. DeMarcus Lawrence talks about a gap between the boys and the Eagles. Let's get into that gap and figure out how big it is and who has the lead. We'll be right back talking D-Law and the Cowboys, but first.
Hilly and Solis, if you've been injured in a car wreck or truck accident, call the Rexperts. Hilly and Solis, most people don't know that anything that you say or write can be used by the insurance company to reduce or possibly deny your accident claim. The law office of Hilly and Solis is going to go to work for you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve. And they're going to make sure they get it fast. They're not going to just fight for you. They're going to win. They're former prosecutors, and let the Rexperts take care of dealing with the insurance companies so you can take care of yourself and your family. Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. See if you can turn your crash into cash. Hilly and Solis will hire the top medical and technical experts to support your claim. Give them a call today at 210-762-6261. That's 210-762-6261.
The Philadelphia Eagles over the last several years, while the offense has taken a lot of the news, and certainly quarterback play has been outstanding. The acquisition of wide receiver and A.J. Brown and that stellar running game has kept them consistent. But when you look at how Philadelphia has really been successful, it's been that defense. They had record-setting type defense last year. 4 linemen over double-digit sacks.
That's
we're
Chicago
Bear 85 kind of numbers. DeMarcus Lawrence, the spokesperson, he's now a hot man. The hot boys, I think, have long passed as you age out of it. But the hot man known as DeMarcus Lawrence tells Rob Mahdi, there's not a huge gap at all.
I don't feel like it's a huge gap at all. I feel like it comes down to, certain details of not just the scheme, but also of, your locker room. I feel like, through this time right now, when we headed the training camp, that we make those adjustments. We learn those different things that we need to learn about our teammates so we can, fully function the way we should out there on the field.
You said it earlier, Rudy. That was DeMarcus Lawrence on the AP Pro Football podcast with Rob Mahdi. You said earlier that this Mozzie Smith thing, that while we were, we've talked about it, a surprise, yada, yada, we've heard both sides of things, but it is important that this guy is ready to play week 1.
Oh,
this ain't a luxury pick.
No, dude. No, this is they're who is it? Everybody that has their first round pick. That's why it's such a premium. That's why, people fight to keep their ones in certain trades, and that's why teams try and get ones. They're so important. And at that position, considering that was the pimple on the defense, is stopping the run and being able to plug the run and being able to have somebody up front that can just help the linebackers make their plays. This dude has got to come in and he's got to have an impact. That's the word Mike is throwing around now. Micah now, he's not worried about sack numbers. Mike is worried about impact. And I think Mozzie has to have an impact, taking on 2-3 guys, plugging those holes. So, no, they're going to be relying on Mozzie Smith heavily. And I think he'll be fine. From all indicators, from everything I've read so far, we won't know until Sundays.
You don't engineer a defense to stop one team. Right.
Oh, well, and see, this is the thing, Rob. This is the beauty of the NFC being down. While, yes, every game counts. It's the NFL. If you're Philly, San Francisco, and Dallas,
which is the only three, right? That's it in the NFC. It's
right now. Again, that may change.
Maybe, but right now,
but right now, those three teams are worried about each other.
So if I was
Philly,
designing
I'm worried
a
about
defense.
San Fran. If I'm San Fran, I'm worried about Philly, and vice versa.
But if you're designing a defense, like, all right, this is the defense, and we're gonna define or defy you to stop us from doing something. And you think about what Philadelphia does on offense, and you think about what San Francisco does on offense. Which team in your mind is, looking at the talent from Van Der Esch and all that, are we engineered to stop? Is it the Eagles and that option kind of RPO Jalen Hurts style of game, or is it the Kyle Shanahan West Coast, let's spread it thin and do all that? Which are you more comfortable here? Because
I would say
for me, it's neither.
I would say they're more they're because of what I saw last year, and I feel like they're going to be better this year. I think they're more equipped to handle San Francisco now that they got Mozzie, because what happened in that game in the fourth quarter, the defense got tired and Shanahan kind of ran the ball down their throats. Now that you re-sign Hank, now you're kind of more equipped, and with what Mike McCarthy's going to do on the offensive side of the ball, giving them more rest, you're a little bit more equipped to be able to handle San Fran. I don't know about, they only played Jalen Hurts once. One other time they got mustache.
That's true. We did have a Minshew game.
Yeah, they got the Minshew game. So, but when Philly's offense is fully functional and fully healthy,
they scare me more.
They're tough for anybody to stop. I don't give a damn who you're talking about. You can even ask San Francisco. Now, I know San Francisco lost Brock Purdy and they brought in some dude in the middle of the game. I get all that. But I don't know if anybody can stop Philly.
That I would engineer this defense. I'd aim it at Philly. I just feel like that's the style of offense that I think you're going to see more often than not until you run into Mahomes.
Hurts is going to be better. He's only gotten better every year he's played. They're going all the way back to Alabama to Oklahoma to now.
Because I don't know about San Francisco. Hell, I know they're going to be very good. Maybe Purdy's going to be their quarterback. Maybe
it's Trey Lance.
Maybe it's Trey Lance. I don't know.
John Lynch said that Purdy earned the right to be the starter. But I think, again, I just saw them hold San Francisco in their crib to 19 points.
But I do everything I can to stop that Philly offense.
Yeah, it's
every
all about
move
Philly.
I make is
but
only
dude, you got
about
Devontae
Philly.
and AJ, and then the running game, and then Hurts, and then Nick Sirianni's creativity. And then they drafted every defensive player from Georgia. So I see what D-Law is talking about, like the gap isn't that big, and I agree with them, but I just don't know if it's necessary to say it out loud.
Just off the top of your head, if I had to ask you right now, which offense do you believe will be, I'm not going to say better, but no, I should say, which offense is just going to be better? More points, more yards? Cowboys or Eagles?
Damn. Cowboys. I think it's a little bit more wide open, even though Mike McCarthy says they're going to run the ball more. I mean, they have had the number one offense every the last 2 years when Dak is the starter. I would think that stays the same.
Real quick, early crew, jump on the YouTube feed. We want to see it immediately.
That's a good question.
Jump there, or you can go onto our 656-3776-656 ESPN. That's our caller text line. Just give us who's got a better offense, Philadelphia or the Cowboys, as we sit right now. We'll give you our random answers coming back on the other side. But first, we do owe you a couple of cigars, both Victory or Swisher. We'll look back on the weekend, who won and who lost. We'll talk about it next. This is R&R. You're on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz starting at 2 o'clock, Wemby weekend is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation. With those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around, you know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub, next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over as long as 5 years with special financing, or save up to $5,000 on the spot. It's our best finance offer ever and our most aggressive pricing. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable, but this amazing offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh taste coconut.
And delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
It's time for the Victory Cigar. Light 'em if you got 'em. Who gets the Cuban? How about a Monte Cristo? Possibly a Churchill? And who gets the Swisher Sweet? It's R&R in the Morning's Victory Cigar. Here's Robin Rudy.
It's R&R. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. The meme of the week is the, I don't know what we should call the dinner that was held on Friday night.
Oh,
amongst the heads of state, the former greats with the San Antonio Spurs,
it's
Sean.
He became a made man.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And the meme shows them all gathered together in front of Fred's Fish Fry for a fine San Antonio type meal. Keep those things coming.
Yeah.
So the weekend that was, we like to give off our Victory Cigars every Monday for those that had a successful, if not championship weekend. And then there are always those that fell flat on their face that deserve a fine Swisher Sweet and attaboy. And now let's get back in there and get them again. Who do we offer our Victory Cigars this weekend to, Rudy?
I'm going to give the Victory Cigar as a whole to the city of San Antonio. This is the city of San Antonio, and treating this Wemby mania with the proper excitement, the proper respect, and just, we got a wake-up call the last few years. We it's like when Rocky cut the Russian, we got cut. We thought we were invincible. We thought we'd always be winning 50 games. And, it was a tough pill to swallow. It was one of them damn horse pills we had to swallow over the past few years. And you could just see the excitement in the city, from the airport to the lottery to even the draft. Now, even though we knew, we still all got out amongst the city and like we talked about out at the Rue Pub, economic impact that everybody's had. And then the meet the rookies to the airport, everything involved. This San Antonio, just the overall excitement and how we've handled it and how we know hopefully we know what's coming. So my Victory Cigar, I'm going to hand out a box to the entire city of San Antonio.
Oh, mine's going to City Sissoko.
Why City Sissoko?
The most celebrated second-round draft pick in the history of the NBA. This guy arrived. He's the 44th pick in the draft. This guy is getting shuttled around our city. Now, he happens to be with Victor, but he's getting an Artisan River parade.
Well, he's
welcome.
He's known Victor for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not what you, but who you. No.
Right.
And then he gets gets put on the happy cab with the mule and the lights, and they take him down Commerce Street in the middle of Saturday, and he gets to be introed in front of a press crew of hundreds from around the world.
Well, he's going to be the next Joker, Rob.
City Sissoko. I mean, second round, number
6
44.
languages you said?
The dude, first of all, respect.
Fluent Spanish.
Threw down to Spanish, spoken French.
He might make the team off that alone.
So I'll tell you what. Now, we are going to, I will say this. This is something that we had forgotten about, Rudy. So all these things are all coming back to us local media types, because it's been about a decade since we were running in the circles that we're now running in again. We had forgotten what it was like back about 2005 and 6, where every press conference, every post game was done in 3 languages, where we had the English side, and then we had the French questions, and then we had the Spanish questions. Well, here we go again, man. Every presser, everything for the rest of the season, half of it's going to be in French. So we play spot the Euro journalist now.
Is that right?
We'll play that game all season. Spot the guy that's not from around here.
How did you spot him? What was it? What was the giveaway?
Normally it's tight jeans, really, really tight pants. Wearing normally they got if they're wearing kicks, they're normally Pumas.
With the Ferrari Pumas?
Yeah, the Ferrari Pumas. And then normally they've got a button-down shirt that's a little bit too tight, not tucked in and rolled up to their sleeves. You can normally pick out a Euro. Like they can pick us out because we're the ones in shorts and a baseball cap and white Nikes, white, fresh white kicks. They look at us like, oh, that's an American. I can tell the Euros.
Got you.
And you'll never, you kind of stand there, you start hearing French spoken behind you, like just random French conversations. It
sounds good though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I always feel like they're talking about me though.
It's not the nail shop, bro.
Well, you never know.
No, I know women always say that at the nail shop, but yeah. So you going with City?
I think City is the luckiest second-round draft pick in the history of the NBA draft.
It's good. Well, the thing about it is right now, if you're in that Wemby circle, it's a great place to be.
Now,
what a time to be alive.
He mentioned that he had landed in Dallas.
This is a City or
City Sissoko.
Okay.
That for some reason they were in Dallas from because he wasn't in the draft.
Right.
So he flew in. I guess they landed in Dallas, and I don't know why they drove, but he and his family drove from Dallas to San Antonio.
Did they get some
I think it was
kolaches?
on Thursday or Friday. I don't think they knew to get kolaches.
Okay.
But he mentioned something to the extent like, we understood that the Dallas to San Antonio was like 4 hours. It took us 6.5. We're like, yeah, welcome to San Antonio.
That's because they didn't take the toll.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't
take
know.
the toll.
Maybe they were driving in kilometers. But when they introed both of them, they played this really cool intro video where they had gone during the draft weekend and found their parents and all those that played a role in their lives as they gone in there. And they were talking to them in this intro video with their family, but it was all in French.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. I'd like to have had some subtitles. I'd like to have known what their family and friends were saying.
I'm a
to them.
huge subtitle guy. Whether it's in a different language or not, I need subtitles.
If I go to somebody's house that has subtitles, I will secretly grab the remote and turn them off.
You better not ever turn off my damn subtitles. What the heck is wrong?
Oh,
with
you
this
got
guy?
subtitles running around. See,
yeah, man.
It's always in a way. There's always at some point there's a subtitle sentence right in the way of what I want to see.
That's my reading for the day.
That's the other thing.
Since I don't read, I read subtitles.
See, I can take my glasses off and watch TV. I don't want to have to put on my readers just to watch TV.
Got you.
I don't mind if they're a little vague, a little fuzzy. I don't need to see the little small blemishes in your 4K. But I'm fine without seeing all that. So that's just me personally. Swisher Sweet, who failed this weekend.
Man, it's a very, very sad situation, Rob. But the people around the people that allowed them people on this fake submarine. Don't laugh. You can't laugh at this.
Well, I saw a meme.
I saw a bunch of memes. I'm like, man, the internet, like, you know, 5 people really died. You know, y'all don't have to make memes. They're like these, like, it's not like it was like some joke or just some TV show. No, 5 people got crushed by the ocean's pressure. And here we come with the memes. Like, you know, I seen one meme. It's like, if I send you a submarine emoji, just know you lost me. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't seen
but the
those.
people around the people that allowed them to do this. Now, I know that there was a guy that was working on their team in 2018 that told them, hey, guys, by the way, this isn't really safe, and I don't think we should do it. He was fired. So while I say the people around them should feel partly responsible, they weren't obviously listening to the people around them. But then I asked myself, Rob, would I have taken that opportunity?
No, I know for a fact if you were super wealthy, you wouldn't be jumping on some kind of submersible and pay $250,000 to go down to the bottom of it. You know what? You'd be in more danger from your wife than you would be on a collapsing
I'm talking about
submersible.
if I got invited. I don't not have the money, obviously. It's like, hey, man, got an extra spot. Don't worry about the money. Would Rudy have gone?
No, you would not have. Neither would I. That's crazy.
I like the ocean. I'm scared of it, though.
They come and say, all right, Rudy, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put you in a can that's about the size of a large bed, like a king-size bed. It's going to be you and 4 other billionaires. And we're going to put you in this little can where only one of you can stretch out at any given time. And then we're going to drive this thing down to about 3,000 feet underneath the North Atlantic. And you're going to drive it with this little Sega Genesis controller. And we're going to get you down there in the utter darkness and the depths. And we're going to let you drive around for a little bit, and we'll bring you back up in about 8 hours, and it's going to cost you $250,000. Or you can go watch this video at home in the safety, and you can see all this.
When you break it down like that, no, I wouldn't have gone.
I know you. No, there's no way in hell you'd have gone, especially when they showed you, oh, yeah, and here's how we drive it.
Yeah,
we use this Sega controller. It's really cool. It's B button X. BBBXY.
Man, I gotta
BBBBB.
Yeah, whoever, this whole thing, just from start to finish, I got to give them the Swisher Sweet. It wasn't well thought out and cost 5 people their lives. It's crazy.
Maybe they should have tested it on the poor before the rich got to do that.
Well, man, the rich haven't had a good go at it with the Titanic because these people were going to try and see the Titanic, right? I think from the reports is they made it to those depths, right? Or no? Or were they already crushed by the time they reached the Titanic?
They didn't come back up. I don't know when it collapsed.
Oh, okay. And I've seen a video of like something getting like 1 atmosphere, and theirs was at like 375.
Oh yeah. So I mean, and all kidding aside, I think so many of us were watching this, and the worst case was they were just stuck on the bottom of the seat, knowing it was almost over. Like knowing.
Yeah, we were thinking. We're
Worst
talking
case
like
is we didn't want them to die like that.
Yeah, we were thinking they would run out of air, but they were crushed well before.
The moment there was a leak, they were all dead. It was an instantaneous, bam, done. It wasn't a slow, awful like we were afraid.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's bad, but I know what you're saying.
A catastrophic event is what I think it would be described as. So,
and then they were saying. Then you told me last week they were searching the square footage of the size of Connecticut,
and it turns out they were right there beside, but they just couldn't see it. Yeah, that's just awful because it seems.
I didn't even know about it till you told me. Then I started. I couldn't turn away after you told me about it.
It just seems so pointless. I mean, what a kind of monumental waste. Everything. It's just why. I mean, other than it was a. You lost 5 lives to go look at something that you could have watched a video. It didn't even need to happen. There was no benefit other than theirs.
Other than rich people doing rich stuff.
Catastrophic loss.
Yeah, so that was my Swisher Sweep. Not to the people dying, just to everybody around it. Anybody had anything to do with it. Horrible idea, and it cost 5 people their lives. What about you, Rob?
Well, I don't know who to hand out the Swisher to, but it's baseball related. I think I'm going to go with LSU.
Why? There's 1-1. They still might win it all, Rob.
I know.
But the Swisher's a day by day.
I'm not mad at them because at least, there's an SEC team going to win it, and there's going to be one in second place for baseball. So, I'll rally to my conference. But Jesus Christ, dude. 24 runs? You gave up a 13 inning. Was that third? Was that the third or the fourth?
That's when I was like, okay, I don't have to watch this anymore. But Florida puts up runs.
No, that one dude that's got 33 homers this season, not even close. But that 24 runs, and I'm not even mad at LSU.
Who are you mad at?
At some point, couldn't we have just called this?
No, because what if LSU has a 13 inning, run inning?
You operate on, but see, I could say if it was the rubber game, the third, where you go, we're playing to a winner, but you're down, there's going to be a game 3. Maybe we should have 10-run this. Maybe we should have 24-4. It was 24-3 for most. They had a late rally, did LSU, to score that last run to make it respectable. Only a 21 defeat in the College World Series. So at least, they brought it back.
Right.
And I'm not, again, tonight's going to be a phenomenal baseball game. If you're not,
so
it should be.
I'm gonna watch it. There's nothing else to watch.
But holy cow!
They're saying that there's 3 guys on these 2 teams that could be the first 3 picks in the draft.
Well, I saw this
LSU is really talented.
The guy that opened the barrage up wasn't even a starter. He was pinch hitting. And didn't the Angels hang 24 on somebody?
If they did, I missed that.
I think the Angels hung 25 or 24 the night on, was it the Rockies?
If it was against anybody, it would be the Rockies. They suck.
I'm trying to find the scores here, but I think we've had 50 runs scored.
Oh, yeah, 25-1 against the Rockies. In a real game, for real,
in a Major League Baseball game.
No, that you should have gave it to the Rockies.
Well,
those are pros.
I like these guys aren't. Like Florida LSU ain't. But
Swishers sometimes coming too. So let's give one to the Rockies.
Maybe. I told you I wasn't sure which way to go on this. Now this is just a game in June for the Rockies or the Angels. They're going to play tomorrow. They're going to play 100 more baseball games. There's only one left in college. So that's why I went that direction. But you're a professional baseball team. You gave up 25 runs.
But see, the thing is, you know what? LSU is still worse because it's do or die.
Yes.
This is, like you said, this is one game. Like, once it's like, 9-1 in a major league game, the team shuts it down and you just say, all right, guys, where are we going for dinner tonight? You don't really give a damn after that.
That's how you feel, right? Right. And I heard the GM for the Angels come out posting like, I really feel bad. You don't want to embarrass the other guys. Yeah, that's not my attitude. If I'm up 25-0, I know that this is ridiculous. I mean, it's just silly.
So hard. if I'm still hitting the ball, I'm just still hitting the ball.
Yes.
Like I got averages to work on. I got slugging percentage to work on. I got arbitration coming up. And I'm not shutting anything down.
Would you take it personal as the GM on the other side?
Never.
Because you know that a day like that, it's just ridiculous. That the baseball gods, whatever it is, just decided that today it ain't going to be in your favor. And you just kind of, I wouldn't be so, he came out like felt so bad for the Rockies staff and the coach and doesn't reflect on, no. Some days it's chicken, some days it's feathers, and they just ate a whole bowl full of feathers and they get to come back at it. But on the World Series, we could close them out kind of game and you give up 25 or 24.
I have no problem with a team running up the score on me because I would do the same. I know everybody has a different viewpoint on it. I've seen coaches get mad. I've seen GMs get mad. They'll call it classless, or when the guy dunks the ball and you could dribble the clock out. I've never had a problem with any of that. We're pros, especially in the pros. Now, if I'm coaching some 10-year-olds and you're full court pressing us and it's 60-2 and you continue to full court press us, then yeah, I might have a problem with that.
Swisher Sweets. What are you guys offering? Who won? Who lost? You can jump in on our Twitter feed. You can jump in on our YouTube feed. You can jump in on our caller text line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Who won the weekend? Who lost the weekend? There's a couple other candidates we might be able to throw out there. We got more to talk about Dallas Cowboy news. Troy Aikman tells us why the Cowboys haven't lived up to expectations next. But first, it's time to.
It's almost July 4th, and you want to show off. You got that neighbor down the street that always waits until you're done with all your fireworks, and then he lets his off. Well, Mr. W Fireworks, all their stands open this past Saturday. Their hours of operations are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The biggest selection in our area, and they are the home of the absolute lowest prices around. In fact, prices are 50 to 80% lower at Mr. W Fireworks, and now on select items, it is buy one, get one free. Shop now and save 50 to 80%. Shop early and save even more. Bring home the W. Get much more for less. Mr. W family showing their family business versus corporate competitors since 1963. Look for the W on the sign for the biggest savings. Also, don't forget, MrFireworks.com to find the location nearest you. And be following me on Instagram. I'm going to be doing a $150 giveaway here soon, probably by sometime late tomorrow. So follow me on Instagram for your chance to win a $150 gift card to Mr. W Fireworks.
Troy Aikman, former Cowboy quarterback, has nailed down the problem that is holding back the Cowboys. There's a problem inside the Cowboys that is keeping them from being as successful as he should be. He spoke with Mac Engel of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram over the weekend. Oh, by the way, I think Troy's going to be on with the Blitz this week. I hear he's coming to San Antonio pushing his beer stuff, and normally when he comes in, we get a chance to grab it. And I'm sure Minix and Joel will bring it up. But he says, the fact that they haven't been winning is because, when it comes to the big games, they haven't played good.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it, Troy. It's like, their biggest problem, they just haven't played well. Yeah. But what's the problem? Why haven't they played well in the big games? That's what we need to dig into.
Yeah, Aikman says he believes the Cowboys have good players, coaches, and a front office members, but they need to find a way to improve their play in big games. How do you do that?
I think there's a lot. One, you can't throw 2 interceptions. That's the start, right? Can't throw 2 interceptions. You have to we got to win time of possession. Get off the field on third down. I mean, I could go all the cliches. If Troy's going to go cliche, I'll just go all the cliches. Get off the field on third down. Don't turn the ball over. Don't get dumb penalties. I mean, we could go on and on.
Why is it that there are some teams and some guys that seem to always succeed in the big game? What is it?
It's in you.
Can you get it?
I think so. And the reason I believe that you can develop that is because I watched LeBron do it. 2011, LeBron, he needed a diaper. He was just running up and down the court peeing on himself. Never seen a guy that caliber. Keep in mind, he's MVP that year. Never seen a guy that caliber really just shrivel up and just, in sports where he just shrivel up and die. And then the next 2 years, he goes and wins back-to-back titles. And I've seen him make clutch shot after clutch shot, buzzer beaters. So I've seen some guys develop it over time. Now, Tom just was born with. I mean, the first time he gets out there in a tough situation, takes his team down the field, puts them in field goal position. Vinatieri finishes off, even Vinatieri. So some guys it's just in you, but I do think you can develop that trait.
Cowboys are 5-13 in playoffs with one postseason road win since their last Super Bowl championship. They've had 2 divisional round losses despite having a bye week to prepare. They have put themselves in position to win football games. They just can't. We watched Denver, incrementally grow. They get a little bit better and they get to the playoffs.
The Nuggets? Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
and then, the Nuggets. I'm sorry. And then they get, they win another playoff series and they get to the bubble and they win a couple more. They lose Jamal Murray, which sets them back a couple years. But once everybody's healthy, they then progress through. They learned how to win a big game. The same dudes. They added, I would say Aaron Gordon helped in that
I'm trying
next
to
step.
think on the football field, though.
But on the football field, who has learned to win other than those guys? Like Mahomes got there with Kansas City and won the first one. Like, dude, this is easy. Found out it wasn't later on, but they got there and they won it. And then you run into these situations where there are these lovable losers. Buffalo is a lovable loser. A lot of lovable losers out there that never could figure it out.
Can the Cowboys figure it out to win these big games?
The Cowboys have finished either first or second in the NFC East 8 times in the last 10 seasons, but they haven't been able to follow it up in the playoffs. What is it, and can you turn it?
I got to believe they can. I have to believe it. Now, I haven't seen it. There hasn't been any indication because, they just haven't done it. But
and
I'm trying to think of the team that was like, you know what, they were trying to get there, and they just couldn't. Peyton Manning is the blueprint for you can develop it. Look how long it took him. That's from the
True.
That's from the text line.
That's only been 20 years ago.
Yeah, but we were looking for examples.
30 years ago, actually.
I think John Elway was one. But John just didn't have any help. But
you know what? John did fail repeatedly as he got going.
You know
he
what
really
I mean?
did.
He would get to the Super Bowl, get his head beat in.
Cowboys did it one time. No, he wasn't a quarterback on that team. That was DeBerg. That wasn't even then.
No. That was way before John.
That was Steve DeBerg, yeah.
That was way before them. But with the proper adjustments, I think they can.
I think you can.
Because I think DeMarcus is right. It's not like there's a huge gap.
When did the Spurs learn to win?
The Lakers.
But they fell ass backwards into a title after that Portland Sean Elliott shot. Was that the pivot point for the franchise?
No.
Or was it beating the Lakers 3 years later?
It was 03.
It was, right?
It was 03 because remember, you got beat 2 series in a row. And then finally 03, not only do you get over the hump, but you get over the hump versus the team that's been knocking you out. That's developing it. Because I don't think they were always clutch. Tim wasn't always clutch.
They weren't clutch at all. What are we talking about? They went from a completely non-clutch team to the Memorial Day Miracle. And then they go, you know what? Maybe every now and then good fortune will smile on us. And then they went and learned how to win games and not rely on the miracle shot. And I think the Cowboys don't know how to go in and win a game and not rely on the miracle shot. You got to go do it once.
Does it start with 4?
Well, he's not the only one.
I don't know if it starts with him, though.
I do think if it doesn't start with him, it ends with him. He's on the list of the reasons why it has to be the quarterback. Now, it might not be the first reason you can turn the page, but how can you not do it without Dak proving to you that he can go win the big one?
I'm trying to really think about this because football's the ultimate team sport. Until Peyton got somewhat of a defense. And not only he was playing Rex Grossman, and then he had to go through Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like Peyton was just like didn't have the clutch gene. He was in the Tom Brady era.
such a deeper question then. How did you just lose that game?
It's such a team effort, man. It's the ultimate team sport.
And how many NFL teams are able to keep coming back year after year and get the opportunity to take that next step? Normally,
with
you
losing
get
players to free agency and then injuries. It's tough to keep that window open.
To be there 3, 4, 5 years in a row. You only get a few. And the Cowboys, I think, by that measure, have been extraordinary because they have been there over and over and over to fail.
But they've been there.
But at least they've been in the door, so we can count it maybe a little bit of incremental growth. But that is the most pressing thing, I think, for McCarthy and the staff is how do you teach this team to win games?
That's
a skill.
It is a skill, and that's a part of the reason why he wanted to let Kellen go. Because I think in his eyes, in his mind, because Mike initiated it. Exactly. Mike initiated it. He felt like Kellen was keeping them from winning the big games by certain play calls.
It is an obvious statement, but one that I think is very much deeper. The Cowboys have not won because they haven't won big games. We'll continue to look at why they haven't won those big games next hour. But coming back, we live in Wemby, Antonio, and it's been a Wemby weekend, and it's Monday, so it's Wem Monday and everything else Wemby-yama. As he arrived in San Antonio Friday to great fanfare, had a nice meal, it appears, at Fred's Fish Fry with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that were led by the former greats of Spurs. No, Tony. We're going to talk about Wemby's activities throughout the weekend. He spoke as well. He told us about the importance of the franchise and where he landed here in San Antonio. And Peter J. Holt spoke of region. What did that mean?
Why did he throw that in? Why did he throw that word in there, Rob?
You know what? I got to give Peter J. some credit. We're about to head into break. We owe you something. But he was there at that presser, stood off to the side, very low-key cat. You would have not seen other owners act or chairman as the way he was acting on. He seems like a man of the people. I'll leave it there. Hey, we got a lot of R&R to do. You might as well hang around for it. You're on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 and sasportstar.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz starting at 2 o'clock is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug. Ew, a bug, get it. But the chances of actually hitting it over there are statistically, it's still alive. Unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember 2 things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each placed their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand.
nothing on my skin. That's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Your home for Rob and Rudy. It's R&R in the morning on YouTube, sasportstar.com. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
And a bit of breaking news. Victor Wembanyama will not play in the FIBA World Cup. He says he wants to get ready for the Spurs rookie season. Also, the Spurs signed a couple undrafted players over the weekend. Texas guard Jabari Rice and Alabama big man Charles Biedoko. And the Texans got Will Anderson Jr. his money. He's getting a fully guaranteed $35.2 million deal. R&R.
Sports Center is brought to you by BraintreeNutrition.com. Better sleep, more focus. BraintreeNutrition.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up, wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left-hand slam.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. Rudy and Rob with you. Hope you're starting your week the right way when what feels like we are in the midst of the summer doldrums at the end of July, but at the end of June. But July starts anew with the NBA getting their rookies together. We're going to tell you who the rookies are going to play, when they're going to play, and if we're going to see some Wemby. It appears that he will participate, although we don't know if he's going to play. See, a big difference. I used to have a coach say, Thompson, you going to participate or you going to play?
What's the difference?
A player's play, participate means you can just be in there.
You just doing cardio.
You're just a damn
there.
Participant.
You're just running up and down the floor getting cardio.
I'm looking for a player.
I like that, actually.
We've been told he's going to participate. We're just wondering if he's going to play. We got the schedule for you. But the Wemby, well, it all began on Friday. The Wemby era began in earnest. He landed here about 1:30, was promptly limoed away. I guess they headed out to the Rock. That's what they're calling it, right? The new headquarters.
Yes.
The Rock. He had some tacos at some point.
Bacon and egg and beans and cheese.
Had some beans and cheese, which I appreciate. We got to meet City Sissoko.
Fluent in Espanol.
The luckiest second-round draft pick in the history of the NBA because he's getting the very same whining and dining, although I did not see him at the meal on Friday night.
Oh, of course not.
Now, that would suck.
No, I mean,
nobody going to dinner, you're like,
no,
where'd everybody go?
Oh,
they left?
Know who you are. You're buddies with Wemby. That's about good enough. But I don't think Tim, Dave, and Sean and Manu want to talk to you. I've never seen you play.
I was standing. Standing. Of course, I was standing. Sometimes I'm sitting, but most of the times I'm standing. We were at that thing. There was 2 pressers on Saturday. There was one
2?
that was televised from the Anderson River Theater that Sean Elliott hosted. And,
the Meet the Rookies.
Yeah, had to Meet the Rookies, and they Peter J. Holt spoke, and they were introed and all of that. And then after that was done, the whole crew came down to the AT&T Center, changed clothes, put on suits, dressed up a little bit. And then they had the official welcome rookies with all the press corps from around the world. And there were a lot of press there from elsewhere, probably 30 cameras set up. I
saw your pictures and your videos and Jason's videos. I was like, dude, it was a blowout.
There's a reporter from the New York Times that had come into San Antonio to just kind of follow the opening weekend for Wemby. I had to stand around talking to him. He goes, so is this where you guys always introduce your rookies? Like, dude, we've never done this before. What are you talking about? Because no, so last year, what did you guys do? So, well, it was Jeremy Sohan and who was the other one that we met that night? It was primarily Sohan, though. I forget who the other one was, and it was all
it Malik and Blake.
Well,
I don't think
we met them though. I don't think.
We talked to Jeremy on Zoom that night at Spurs headquarters.
And we met at the headquarters that they're about to shutter before they move in, and it was all Zoom. No, we don't do this normally. Because what about in the past? Well, we did when Tim was drafted.
When Tim and Dave, that's
we
it.
Did a little bit,
we wait 20 years in between.
Poor Manu had to get an Uber from the airport. We didn't even know who the hell he was.
That is so true.
Tony Parker showed up at 18. We had to make sure he was legal to work in the United States. I mean, it wasn't quite the same when those guys showed. So, no, we don't do this very often.
And why would we? I mean, I love Malachi Branham. I love Blake Wesley.
I don't think we met Blake that night, though. I think we only really had the video with Jeremy Sohan. By the way,
go ahead. I have a question when you're done.
The schedule's been announced.
Summer League.
For Summer League. And Wemby announced this morning through his sources, his peoples, he's not going to play for the FIBA championships with the French. He looks forward to playing for the Olympic team in their games in the 2024 there in Paris. It'll be a home field for him.
Yeah, tough. I'm sure a tough decision. He was telling Eloquip that, hey, I know it's frustrating for everybody. I'm sure he's speaking to his fellow Frenchmen. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for himself. But with the schedule, with how much he's played, it just wasn't a necessary sacrifice. Now, the Olympics are in Paris in 2024. He'll be there. Tough decision for him out the gate. As soon as you get drafted by the NBA, to turn your back on your country is what they'll be saying today. But I get why he did it, and I don't think the Spurs had anything to do with it. I think the Spurs would have, hey, you know what? Have a blast. Just make sure you don't get hurt. But I think this was on him and his group.
I didn't ask any questions during the presser. I'm kind of
why not, Rob?
The back. I probably should have, because I am curious how much of a role his squad, his group.
That's what they call Kawhi's. They call Kawhi's a group.
Yeah. See, I don't want to. I just want to use the word. Yeah, I was going to say group. I didn't like that. Yeah, squad's another thing that's got a connotation. Posse's got another connotation. I don't know what his people. I don't know what you'd call his grouping.
I'm just calling them as the Wemby circle.
But you wonder how much of his circle was involved in this decision about not playing, and how much it was intimated, because the Spurs weren't going to say anything, but I think it was pretty obvious. We'd rather you didn't go. The Olympics are one thing, FIBA's another, but you're a brand new draft pick. We got a lot of work to do. I hate to see you have to go back and acclimate to an international system that's going to be, kind of useless to you when you get busy here in October.
I thought that was the best point you made, Rob, last week when we were discussing it, because I think both of us were kind of like, okay, he's going to play in the FIBA. Like, let's go from here on the Summer League. But the point you made was, dude, this is an entirely different game that he needs to get acclimated with. It's a different ball. There's different defensive rules. There's obviously different offensive rules. The court is a little bit bigger. So I thought that was a great point.
I'm consistently struck by our GM, Brian Wright's just nonchalance. I don't know how. No, that's not a good word for it. RC and Pop kind of were this.
Don't he look? He's walking. He's a walking Pop and RC.
Very much. Well, he doesn't care. Pop and RC always kind of had the this air of, I don't know how to put it. It wasn't arrogance by any stretch, but you never really kind of ran into RC and felt like, hey, let's talk. You never felt like you were able to. Brian Wright's the kind of dude, I think if you ran into him at HEB, he'd talk about, he wouldn't give away trade secrets, but he would not be withholding from, today it was pretty interesting. I think he's very much more of a forthright guy. I love the way I've seen him interviewed probably 5 times over the last week.
Oh, yeah.
He expands on answers. He doesn't answer the press's questions like he's being cross-examined by a lawyer in court. I'm only going to answer the question that you asked and no more than that. And when I listen to Brian Wright, he'll answer the question, and then he's not afraid to go a little bit further. You know why we did this and all of this? I think I am thoroughly enjoying this new and, obviously enthused Brian Wright by this, getting Wemby. You're going to look like a genius no matter what. But I like the guy. I like the way he answers the questions. And it doesn't seem to have this bunker down mentality where, this is nuclear secrets, when in fact it's just NBA basketball.
I agree with that. I didn't go into depth on it, that part, but now that I think about it, when I have heard from him, there's those guys that answer questions and you look up and it was only 26 seconds. When we get stuff from Brian Wright, I look up like, damn, that was a minute-long clip.
Yeah, he answers the question, then takes it a little bit further. Now, I don't think he's, like I said, I don't think he's spilling anything secret, but at the very least, he's just answering a question. We're not spies. You're not being cross-examined for a lawsuit that we're going to hold everything you say against you. You can kind of expand on your answer. And I've really appreciated Wright over the last couple of days doing that.
Is he going to get credit if this takes off in the right direction?
Absolutely, he will.
Or are we going to still consider it popping RC? Because that's what we know.
Well, it'll be popping RC until he does it again, but he'll get every bit of credit. He's going to have to do it twice.
You think so?
Yeah, he will. I think so. I think that RC is giving him the space to get that kind of credit.
Is Pop giving him the space too,
yeah,
clearly.
Pop wasn't even at the presser. RC was in the building. Pop wasn't there. Brian Wright spoke, obviously. One of the cool things about the presser was we got the international scout. The guy that's head of the international scouting department was there in the building, and Brian Wright called him out and said, hey, man, we had 2 international players drafted. Well done on the international department. And they talked about watching City Sissoko for years. They've been following him. Now, Wemby, hell, you and I could have scouted that one.
Did I see Mike Monroe is back, but with the Athletic?
Yes.
I forgot to
believe it, Rudy.
Yeah, I'll shout out to Mike, man. He was always the big dog down there at the AT&T Center, so it's good to see him back, but I think he's with the Athletic now, right?
Yeah, he is with the Athletic, and I'm standing around, and I turned, and I saw Mike Monroe. I was like, dude,
what's up?
You talk about people coming back to the city. Mike Monroe, for those of you unaware, was the lead Spurs beat reporter for a long time. And for 15 years, every post game, when Pop came out to speak, Monroe was always the guy that asked the first question. He was the one that always broke the ice.
Especially, it was tough on that. Like, see, when they would win, Mike would have trouble because then now everybody's like, okay, Pop's going to be in a better mood. Let me jump in. But then when they lose by 15, 20, the room is silent. And then Mike's kind of looking around like, nah, y'all had so much to say. Y'all had a lot to say when they won the other night, but when they get beat by 20, nobody wants to talk. And so Mike would always break the ice. Yeah. And, sometimes Pop would slam him. And then sometimes, Pop would be like, hey, Mike, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. So good to see Mike back.
Mike never got the look you in the eye next question like I did. Never once.
You don't think so?
Never. I never saw it happen. I never got the Pop.
So. Well,
that's a dumb question. I'm not even going to deem it worthy of an answer.
Yeah, there's a level of respect he got from him.
But it's good to see Monroe. He hadn't changed a lick, by the way. That's some behind the scenes. Hey,
he grew any hair?
No.
Okay.
No, hadn't changed a lick.
Okay, just make.
I don't think that's imminent to come back. I think once that's gone, that's gone.
Not even with HGH.
Unless, of course, you're LeBron. Manu Ginobili seemed to grow a new patch every summer as well, but that's a whole.
I'm mad at you. You made fun of Manu's pants.
Manu's wearing culottes again. Hey, we're going to talk about Wemby some more on the other side. The Spurs, they're an important franchise. Wemby has a great opinion of the team. We're going to hear from Brian Wright and how he did what he did. And Peter J., the chairman, spoke to the regionality of this ever-growing brand that is the Spurs.
You see how he do? Peter has like about a minute clip, and Rob only wants to talk about him saying region. Me too. And I'm here for it. I am so down.
Now that big piece of cake that we were sharing got a whole lot better. It's got like a chocolate on top, and they still want some of it. Yeah, we got more to come. But it is time to buy some fireworks.
Yes, Mr. W Fireworks. All their stands open this past Saturday. Their hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. You know, July 4th is right around the corner. And if you're in those areas where you can, let some fireworks off, you got a ranch, you're outside the city limits, I can't think of a better place for you to go than Mr. W. Shop local, people. I can't stress that enough. We say that with a lot of our different sponsors. Mr. W has been around since 1963, and they have the absolute lowest firework prices in town, probably 50 to 80% lower at Mr. W Fireworks. Buy one, get one free on select items. If you shop now, you're going to save 50 to 80%. Shop early and you save even more. Bring home that W. Mr. W family, showing that the family business versus corporate competitors since 1963. You can check it all out at MrFireworks.com. All stands open. And follow me on Instagram, RudyJ_star. Sometime tomorrow, we're going to be starting a giveaway for $150 giveaway for Mr. W Fireworks. Get your July 4th stuff right now. That's Mr. W Fireworks.
What's the most you've ever spent on fireworks?
Ooh, $200-$300.
Have you ever come back and gotten in trouble?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to beat the neighbors, man. And I can't think of a better place to beat the neighbors than Mr. W Fireworks.
Head over and get them. The single greatest advance to fireworks purchasing was them taking credit cards.
I know, because it used to just be cash.
How much cash we got?
Right. That's right.
Now you can
I
hustle
forgot
back.
about that.
You go back and get what you want. And it used to be, I guess it's still a thing, 4 for 1, 5 for 1. Are you a mortar guy? You buy the mortars?
Which one is that?
The things that you feel like should be illegal, but you're
like those.
These are above and beyond my pay grade.
Yes.
When they legalize those.
Again, I don't know when it became a competition, but you can sometimes I've been on certain streets and it's just like, oh, y'all are competing. All right, you go. All right, now our turn.
We what holiday do you think has more fireworks? Is it July 4th or New Year's?
New Year.
I think New Year's because it's kind of a singular event. Because I'm already seeing fireworks. There was fireworks going off on my hill last night. There's people already buying it.
For Wemby?
I'm just saying, I'm already seeing fireworks. It's literally, I didn't know they were already open, but yesterday I saw fireworks.
Because that tells me that somebody they wanted to get an early start. It's hard to just look at them when you've already bought them. It's hard to just keep them there without popping a few.
But I think we spread out July 4th fireworks for like a week and a half, and then
we do,
because I can picture New Year's, and you can go up on my balcony and watch the city. I mean, it's just from the east side to the west side. It's just one fireworks. July 4th not quite the same. It's not quite
like New Year, right?
Midnight, boom, everything goes.
I agree.
Go get them. It's time.
Yeah, when you say Mr. W, Mr. Wemby fireworks,
maybe that's what that stands for. How important are the Spurs in the hierarchy of franchises in the NBA? Where would you rank them as far as importance? Need for them to be successful on the mouths of fans across the country. Where would you rank
them? I'm being totally honest, not high.
I'd put them in the top 10. I mean, they do have 5 rings and have been.
But I don't know if at NBA headquarters they sit around thinking about we got to get the Spurs back.
It was pretty obvious that when Tim retired, they didn't give a crap about San Antonio. We were done. Until what have you done for me lately? So it wasn't like they did their best to keep us relevant by putting us on national TV and doing the things that they did for Boston when they were god awful.
I'm sure Adam Silver and everybody wants the Knicks to get better.
Yes.
And the Knicks to make a run.
And the Knicks are going to get 5 national TV games every year, no matter what. It doesn't matter.
They could be coming off a 1-81 season. They're going to put them on television.
Now, Wemby viewed the Spurs from a different lens across the Atlantic. This is his opinion of where the Spurs rank in franchise importance.
As I've been playing in Europe my whole life, it's a different type of basketball than what's usually played in the NBA. But so I had many coaches who were really talking greatly about Spurs basketball. That philosophy with the coaching, obviously, but also the players. We had many Frenchies go to that franchise, and I think it's in the whole NBA. There's all the franchises who are important, but it's probably the most important and present franchise in French players' history,
Tony, Boris?
In French players' history. I guess just because of Tony.
But can we extrapolate that?
Well, see, I think it's for all internet. I think all international players should feel that way, not just French, because I feel like the way the Spurs featured their international players helped all of them. Whether you're just from France, whether you're Serbia, whatever, it made other teams look like, say, hey, we need to do something over here and, and work on our development. So to me, I don't think he should have limited it to just international. Now, when you ask me, I wasn't looking at it from an international standpoint. I fully understand why somebody overseas would feel like, hey, man, what the Spurs did was groundbreaking and it got everybody looking at us. So I get that.
Let's just focus on the international side. They're the most important franchise as far as adopting international players, and not just one or two. I mean, the Spurs.
Well, they were drafting and stashing also, so it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, we talk about Tony Manu, but they drafted
every year.
Mean, don't forget about Splitter.
Oh, there's
he was the number one player in his country for a long time as well.
For the last 20 years, how many Spurs have been? I mean, how many Euros have been drafted by the Spurs? That never even showed because we're the kings of draft and stats. Because quite frankly, we didn't have room for the draft pick. I mean, we were putting those guys and hoping 4 years from now something might crack open. But I bet the Spurs drafted 25 international players over the last 30 years that never even came across to even, begin.
I agree with that.
So I think as far as international basketball, certainly the big four are always going to be more important because it's the Lakers, it's the Bulls, it's the Celtics, and you can add in the Knicks as far as international flavor.
That's different.
No matter what, they're always going to be out there. But I think internationally, I do think the Spurs hold some weight amongst players because, well, Pop, I think he got a lot of that from Don Nelson. And Don, I think, was the first to really look at the international player and go, you know what? Those guys can play, and I'm going to find a way to use them. When he was at Golden State, he went and got some internationals.
I forgot about Batum. Who else? Gobert. Evan,
but this is just
like
French.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm going off of what Wemby said as far as French basketball player goes. Evan Fournier. Yeah, they've had some guys. They've had some ballers over there. Oh, Jan Mahinmi,
who was
he was supposed. I mean, hey, guess what? He ended up getting a whole bunch of money from the Wizards. So props to him. And I
played 10 years.
Yeah, it's one of those guys also that says, you know what? I love San Antonio so much, I'll make my home.
Well, Wemby sees the Spurs as the most important franchise, at least for the international types in the NBA. Brian Wright had an opportunity to talk about building a team and what is involved behind the scenes. That's the real art to the science of being a general manager. Build a team. This is Wright on that.
So, yes, it was a long process. A lot of conversations throughout the organization, as RC mentioned, a very collaborative process. Throughout basketball operations with the coaches and everybody as we formulated a plan on how we get to this point. And as Peter said and RC said, we've been fortunate. We've been blessed by the basketball gods, and we hope that continues. But we wanted to put ourselves in position where we could build a team that could sustain success for a long period of time. What you guys have had and what you've experienced and enjoyed over the last 20 years has been amazing. And our goal is to bring that back to this city and sustain that for a long time. And to be on this stage again, celebrating the future and celebrating the now. But today is about these two young men, and we're excited to get that going.
Brian Wright on Saturday, speaking as we were meeting our rookies, City Sissoko and this other guy named Wemby. How much of this feels like, hey, you're just lucky, man?
It does feel like that. But at
lucky.
the same time, Rob, I'm not still all the way sold that titles are on the way.
And you shouldn't be.
I have, and I don't think Brian Wright said that, but that's the sense I get from the city. And I love the city's energy. That's why I gave the city the Victory Cigar. But I do have tempered expectations. I'm not saying that this can't turn into something, but I am like, dude, because I know what I saw in the Tim Duncan era is so hard to accomplish. It's so rare. Again, there's only a few teams with 5 or more titles. Of course, you got the Lakers and Celtics. Put that aside. I know Golden State from their previous teams or whatever, they're there as well. The Bulls because of Jordan era. But just think about that. Look at the Bulls. 98. Nothing since then. Nothing. It's so hard. So I'm like, yes, while I'm excited as anybody, I'm as excited as the guy that paints the murals, I'm as excited as the guy that already has his jersey. I'm also like, dude, that Tim era was different, and it's rare, and it's so difficult.
I'm glad you brought up the Bulls, because I think the Bulls are this is what you don't do part of. This is how you fail in building a dynasty. The Bulls are a cautionary tale on this is what you absolutely do not do. You don't run off your star. You don't trade away the second best dude. You don't create internal turmoil by who's the second best dude, who's the third best dude.
You don't play Derrick Rose in meaningless minutes and then have him tear his ACL.
Yeah, you don't adopt a weird offense that you try to keep even though the coach is gone. I mean, they are the quintessential, this is how you don't do it. And I would say on the other side of things, when you write how do you do it, I think you look at how the Spurs maintain for 20. This is how you change a flat tire while you're still driving the car. And the Spurs managed to do that for 10 years. And everybody else, well, they're cautionary tales. One last thing I'll do, we owe you a break, and we're gonna, but I do want you guys to hear from the chairman of our San Antonio Spurs, Peter J. Holt, who was there in person and just kind of hanging out, which I found very interesting about the regionality of this San Antonio Spurs franchise.
But listen, what today is all about is about the city of San Antonio and our amazing region. There's no NBA city. Quite honestly, there's no sports city in the world like San Antonio. Nothing like it.
That's why we're growing.
Hold on, let's just stay there.
That's why we're gonna pay our attention.
I don't want to hear
someplace else.
I don't need the rest of the rah-rah speech. Give me those first few seconds again, Edwin. Give me those first few seconds.
What today is all about is about the city of San Antonio and our amazing region.
I'll give you the floor, Rob.
Hey, he said it as well as I can.
In our amazing region.
In our amazing region.
What does our region do?
He didn't say
all the way
this
to
was
Mexico City?
Yeah, this wasn't the most amazing region in the world. It was San Antonio. But the region.
And our amazing region.
I get it.
Me
get
too.
it, but
it's
I'm
smart.
tired.
It's good business. It's good business. We need not need. We want more money. You have new investors that need return. So if I gotta tease Monterrey, tease Austin a little bit, like, hey, we got a little something up here if y'all want to come see it. I have no problem with that. It's just good business.
But do you think?
But I like making fun of it.
But do you think that the guys in Austin, the Dells and the Airbnbers, whatever that dude's name is, and all those types go, if he hadn't mentioned region, do you think they'd have been butthurt? Do you think the guys in Austin and Monterey, if they hadn't heard region, and
yes,
do you think they would have been butthurt?
Yeah, I think the new people would be butthurt because it's like, dude, I just gave y'all $100 million. You better be marketing this damn thing to all of Texas.
You better mention the 512.
Yeah, like you need to be trying to switch some Rocket fans, make them Spur fans. I need to make my $100 million back. Hell yeah, I would have been mad if he didn't mention the region. Our amazing region is what he said, Rob. Amazing.
It is an amazing region.
It is.
Oh, it's just amazing.
Let's just become a metroplex,
we
Rob.
have
Are you down?
all this. The metroplex.
Let's make it a metroplex.
It's wonderful. Just ask Arlington about the Dallas Cowboys that play in their backyard. Just ask them how wonderful it is to live in Arlington and play home to the Dallas Cowboys. I wonder how nice it'll be to live in San Marcos and play home to the San Antonio Spurs. I wonder if that regionality will really be so much fun. When this, I'm just being facetious. Hey, we got Dallas Cowboy talk that you are due. DeMarcus Lawrence talks about the ever shrinking gap between the Cowboys and another NFC East. We're going to look very closely at the 5 Cowboy players that need to bring it if they're going to be successful. We'll debate that. Hang around. We got a lot to do. This is R&R, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, right now, if you are not walking around squeaky clean with a Connecticut water softener, you need to listen very close to me because you don't have the very best. That's the great thing about having access to a Connecticut water softener here in San Antonio. First and foremost, it's the best thing you're going to get for our water. Whether you're on a well, whether you're bringing it in from the aquifer, there is no better way. And by the way, if you have a well, it works great. I have a well. In fact, I wouldn't be able to function at all without a Connecticut water softener. Now, the water's coming out of the aquifer just like everybody else's, but there's some specific needs that well owners need, and Connecticut can take care of you quite nicely, whether it's to soften your water, to condition the water coming out of every spigot out there. They've got exactly what you need in this for San Antonio's water. We all know the water's hard down here. You can see it. Shoot, even with water softeners, a lot of us used to deal with the powder on your glasses when you're pulling it out of the dishwasher. You slowly watch those white socks go very, very steadily gray, along with every other white item you've got. Or maybe you can see it on your skin, that white flaky stuff. That's telling you why your water softener might be doing some. It ain't doing enough. Connecticut will take care of that. And right now, they'll take care of you with a deal that's really hard to pass up. If you don't have a Connecticut, listen to me. Right now, for the next 90 days, you can have the very best water softener you can get from Connecticut Waters, and they'll put it in for free. Ask you for no commitment. This is a prove-it deal, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. For 90 days, you get a Connecticut and you don't pay anything? What are you waiting on? 656-PURE, 656-PURE. That's the number you need. The website is connecticutsa.com. Go there for all the details and all the specifics. You know, the Connip has been taking care of me. They've been taking care of my family. They've been taking care of San Antonio for a long, long time. If you haven't committed to a Connecticut, well, you know, I can see why you're biding your time. You want to be an informed consumer. Well, let me tell you this. I'm informed. I'm telling you this. You're not going to get a better water softener. Apples to apples, oranges to oranges. There is no better. And once you get it, they like to say, this is the last water softener you're ever going to own. I believe it. Now, if you're going to keep it for a long time, you need to know the warranty's as good as you're going to find. It is. Trust me. Get yourself a Connecticut. Find out for free. Dial 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE. Get one in your home. I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz starting at 2 o'clock, Wemby weekend is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember 2 things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each place their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4. Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
Welcome back to Total Wine. What brings you in today?
Hey, Ruthie. I need help filling the ultimate beach cooler.
Well, we have the most hard seltzers and amazing canned cocktails anywhere, like High Noon, Cutwater, White Claw, Truly, Topo Chico, Jack Daniels and Coke, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and Cayman Jack Zero Sugar Margarita in cans.
Wow. I'm going to be the king of the cooler.
And we have them at the lowest prices in town. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, be 21.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-652-5656. 800-652-5656. That's 800-652-5656.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the ultra smooth, ultra powerful iPhone 11 for $49.99.
He didn't stutter.
See every angle with dual cameras,
Make it a double.
all on America's largest 5G networks.
Large and in charge, baby.
Get with the power of Boost and get the iPhone 11 for $49.99.
That's half a Benjamin.
Boost Mobile.
Unleash your power.
ID verification required. New customers only at one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
It can be stressful when unexpected expenses come up, but Dave can help. Dave is the banking app that could help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. No interest, late fees, or credit check. Join the millions of people who have downloaded Dave and get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. Download the Dave app right now or go to dave.com. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Hey, San Antonio, take pride in your health. Regardless of your profile status, know your health status. No shame, no judgment. Practice safe sex and get tested. Call 210-207-8830 for more information or find us on social media using #IKnowMyStatusSA.
Hi there, I'm Dwayne Charping, owner of Roof Fix. We're offering a special deductible relief program that gives you up to $2,500 plus 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months with approved credit.
Call Roof Fix today at 210-FIX-ROOF.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Starting at 2 o'clock today, we're all over Wemby weekend. All the highlights from everything that was said as Wemby has spent his first weekend in San Antonio. Plus, the latest Cowboys news. The Blitz starts at 2. Hey, Rudy, that Wemby jersey you were wearing on Saturday at the AT&T Center was phenomenal.
No. Never.
I'm surprised by the number of Wemby jerseys that are already out in circulation.
Oh, yeah, that thing is, again, now I don't know where they're getting them.
My mother was like, I went to buy a Wemby Alma t-shirt at Academy yesterday, and I couldn't find them. Do you know where I can? My mother, my 83-year-old mother.
She's on the Wemby train?
Down on the Wemby train. He's a handsome young man.
He is.
A young man, as she says. Everybody.
I'm a damn Spur.
He's a damn Spur. Everybody proud. Even the old Spurs fan will continue talking Spurs. But, of course, the matter of the day is the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota is a good friend of the show. One of the great football minds out there, writes for The Athletic. Just a very entertaining cat. He does this every year. He goes out and he puts together a fan survey for The Athletic. And he asks Cowboy fans to chime in on a variety of questions, whether it's about the team, the schedule, yada, 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 a lot of things. And it's always really interesting to watch where the fandom lies as opposed to where the team is, where the fandom believes they are and where the team finds themselves. And normally, in my experience, when there's a big separation between the expectations from fans and expectations from Cowboys, if there's a big difference in what those expectations are, that's really a precursor to a season that's going to be at the very best in disarray. And that's at best, and at worst, we've seen them collapse. The teams just collapse.
We've seen that.
So with that in mind,
happens.
Here is the survey and its results. The first question that came off this is, what grade would you give the Cowboys for their offseason? Coaching staff changes, free agency, draft, etc. You had your option of an A, B, C, D, or F.
A.
The largest response of these, and there's well over 1,000 on these, was a B. 865 responded, 64.9%. Give the Cowboys a solid B. Only 22.7% of the respondents, some 302, less than half, only give them an A. Now, on the other side of that, F, only 3 respondents gave them an F.
Yeah, there's no F.
Well, 3 idiots, but
But I'm trying to figure out what about the season would tell? What about the offseason would make someone say it's not an A?
Well,
let's play devil's advocate. What would if you're being nitpicking?
If you're a Zeke fan,
B is good.
If you're a Zeke fan or a Dalton Schultz fan, you might have been a little concerned about
maybe
that exodus.
You didn't think Kellen. Maybe you don't think Mike's the guy.
Maybe it's the Kellen Moore exodus.
Maybe keeping Mike in general.
Well, fans seem to be on board with more than 87% giving the Cowboys either an A or B. The most notable moves being the trades for Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, drafting Mozzie Smith, re-signing Donovan Wilson and Leighton Van Der Esch, and moving on from Zeke Elliott and Dalton Schultz and Mike McCarthy replacing Kellen Moore. Those are the most significant changes. And with that in mind, with the changes in place, and while most agree that it was a good offseason, if not great, how far will it take the Cowboys? Now, here's the possible
what are
answers.
The answers. Okay.
Miss the playoffs, losing the wild card, losing the divisional, losing the NFC Championship, losing the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. Where would you land there?
Damn, I haven't even seen a damn training camp or preseason, but that's the fun in it.
How are they gonna? Are they gonna miss it all together, or are they gonna win the Super Bowl and gradations in between there?
I'm gonna give them at least the NFC title game.
So they lose in the NFC title game or lose in the Super Bowl?
Losing the NFC title game.
If they lose in the NFC title game, by your vote, you would be amongst the most. That is the most common answer. 35% of those respondents believe that's where the Cowboys should logically go. They do see losing in the Super Bowl only 6%. Winning the Super Bowl actually has a higher percentage than losing the Super Bowl at nearly 12%, 11.7 respondents. Losing in the divisional round was the...
How many?
Well, as far as votes go, a close second to losing in the NFC Championship game. 34.7% of respondents say they're going to lose in the divisional round, while 35.3% say lose in the NFC Championship game. 6.3% believe losing in the Super Bowl, and 11.7% of the respondents do believe that they will win the Super Bowl.
Now, that 12% is the same. That's every year. Every year there's a 12% Cowboy fan that tells us this is our year.
Now that's just if you add in all the combinations,
okay,
that's over 50% of voters believe the Cowboys will at least reach the NFC Championship game.
I do.
I don't think that's outlandish either.
For my guy Double M's sake, they better.
Now let's look close to home. Who wins the NFC East?
Okay, this for whatever reason. No one can win this division 2 years in a row. So I know it would be easy for me to pick Philly, but I'm going to go off the credit report. And I'm going to say Philly does not win it. And Dallas snatches it back from them.
Well, it's neck and neck, head and head. The Giants and Commanders.
You're not going to put the Giants in there?
The respondents believe just a little over 50% believe it will be the Eagles at 50.5%.
No.
The Cowboys come in right behind at 48.2%, and I think that's about right. This is a pick 'em. And last year's survey, 77% have had the Cowboys winning the division. This year, the number is far less, closer to a little bit under 50%. But clearly, fans see that the two-team race going on in the NFC East is going to be consistent, and I think we expect that to go again. And I think that's probably right on. I think fans haven't screwed this one up. How do you feel about the current state of the franchise? The possible answers were headed in the right direction, headed in the wrong direction, or I have no idea what they're doing.
Headed in the right direction.
70%, 68.9% are happy with which way they're going. Headed in the wrong direction, only 9%. But there are 22% of Cowboy fans who have no idea which way the Cowboys are going and are going to wait and see what this season brings.
I've changed my answer.
Join the 22%?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but you expect wins. I mean, it's not like you think this team could collapse. I think everybody's like, I expect they're going to go to the playoffs. And I think if you say that, then they're headed in the right direction, right? I mean,
right.
I'm not trying to take away from too much into that. When will the Cowboys reach the Super Bowl? We've gotten into there. Let's get into some individual players or individuals on the team. What grade would you give Jerry Jones as the general managers of the Cowboys and how they have built their current roster and staff? You can give them an A, B, C, D, or F.
Jerry, considering,
and this one, by the way, it's not even close. It is,
and it's just runaway. Is this for this season? If I feel like their off season was an A, I'm going to give Jerry an A. He's responsible for most of the decisions, so I'm going to give Jerry an A.
Nearly 87% give Jones a C or better.
What?
708 of the respondents, and keep in mind, that's 53.3% of the respondents give him a B, 11% give him an A, 22% give him a C overall. Well over nearly 90% give him at least an average, if not better, grade. And I think he's earned
we
that
get to suck on that all week.
all weekend long. Now here
How did he not get an A, though?
is where the fans start stepping in and giving us some unmitigated opinion. Who is the Dallas Cowboys' most overrated player?
I mean, that's easy. This is a layup, John. Machota just wanted to, it's Dak.
Well, yeah, kind of. If you're going by who's still on the team, because when this poll was taken, Zeke Elliott received the most votes.
Oh,
this was last year. I'm sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
He got 100. He got 826 of the 1,600 votes last year. Now this year, Prescott received the most votes as the overrated. 1,100 responses put him as the most overrated. Trayvon Diggs second, Michael Gallup third, Tyron Smith fourth. DeMarcus Lawrence rounded out the top five with 59 votes. CeeDee Lamb with 47. And Tony Pollard is already being called overrated. Hadn't even started a game yet with 42 overrated votes. But by far, it is Dak Prescott. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is.
But you know what? This is the thing, though. To be overrated means people have to think really high of you.
That you're better than you are.
So I may have to reconsider that, and I may have to change my vote to Diggs. Because I think Diggs, because of that 12 interception year, he got put into this class of he's this lockdown corner. And while I think he's really good, I think he is the definition of overrated. Meaning like, hey man, we think the world of this guy. I don't think anybody thinks the world of Dak. So if no one thinks the world of you and nobody thinks you're a top 10 quarterback other than Jason Minix, how can you be overrated when nobody really rates you? Diggs, on the other hand, people rate him really high. People, talk about him like he just locks down one side of the field. And I don't know if he's that.
I'm surprised.
So I would change that to Diggs.
I'm surprised at you.
Why?
I thought you'd have thrown D-Law right under the bus.
You know what?
D-Law, in my mind, is by far the most overrated player for the Cowboys. By far.
Well, according to RJ Ochoa, he's an elite run stopper.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me that. But we keep giving up acres and acres.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how is he an elite rapper when?
What exactly is he doing for me? I don't hate him, and I'm not mad at him. But D-Law is way, way overrated in our eyes. I think the Cowboys have a pretty firm grasp of who he is and what he's capable of. I think fandom has lost sight of him. D-Law is just a very good, not great defensive lineman.
Yeah, he got paid, and I'm not saying he quit. He just hasn't been as good since he got paid.
He's just very good, no better. Who's the most underrated Cowboy player? I like this.
Ooh, most underrated.
Good list here. By the way, the overrateds, Michael Gallup, Tyron Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard. Underrated.
Underrated, I'm going to say Leighton Vander Esch.
Interesting. I like that. Now, last year, Tony Pollard was listed as the most underrated player. Safety Jaron Kearse was second with 205 votes. Anthony Brown was third. Now, this year, the most underrated player, 115 of the 1,000 votes or so, was DeMarcus Lawrence. He finished fourth last year with 118. Second this year was a tie between Dak Prescott and Tony Pollard. Both got 98 votes each. Fourth was Leighton Vander Esch with 81 votes. And fifth was Donovan Wilson with 67. And rounding out the top 10 was Kearse, Deron Bland, Terrence Steele, Tyler Badass, and right guard Zach Martin. If you ask me who the most underrated player on the Cowboys, I think it's Donovan Wilson.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think LVE, because of his injuries, we don't really think about it. But if you look at him last season, he played fantastic. But it's weird. It's not weird to me, but I guess most of these people agree with RJ Ochoa about DeMarcus Lawrence, that there's some other things he's out there doing that the naked eye doesn't see.
I hate that, but it's true. I guess there are some things.
But no, I like the Donovan Wilson one.
We're going to talk about their defense in just a second. As DeMarcus Law says, there isn't a gap anymore. We'll talk about the gap between the Cowboys defense and the rest of the NFC East and the NFL. But before we do that, Who is their most valuable player on the Dallas Cowboys according to the fandom votes? And it's not even close according to the vote. Not even close.
The MVP?
The MVP. Who is the most valuable player on the Dallas Cowboys as we sit today?
I think the low-hanging fruit they're going to say Micah, but to me, most valuable means if they lose you, the team goes in a different direction. I feel like if they would miss Micah, don't get me wrong, but they would still be they could still be a contender without Micah. Yeah. I feel like it's got to be Dak. Even though Cooper Rush was 4-1 last year, for what value means to me is what are they like without you? And that's just how I go about it. So for me, it's still Dak.
Dak came in with 25.1% of the vote as the most valuable. Micah Parsons came in at nearly 70%. 68.8% say he is the most valuable player. And, he is the best, arguably the best defender in the NFL.
Valuable, not best, most valuable. Like you can, for all we know, Sam Williams could come in if Micah goes down and they don't miss a beat. They still get the quarterback pressure. They're still getting the sacks. Over a season, we saw what this team looked like when Dak broke his leg.
Yeah,
it was awful. That to me is value.
It's a flip from last year. Last year, it was Dallas. Dak. As expected, Parsons took the top spot here. He became arguably the NFL's best defender and the biggest reason Dallas now has the league's best defense. Prescott last year received nearly 65% of the vote as the most important, and Parsons only got about 30%. Their numbers have literally flipped since last season. DeMarcus Lawrence is important.
I don't know if he's most valuable.
But he's not on the list.
Keep in mind, DeMarcus Lawrence going down birthed us Micah Parsons, the pass rusher.
According to the vote, D-Law is the 7th most important Dallas Cowboy. He ranked just above other with 6 first-place votes, and that's a half a percentage point. Now, whether he is the most important, most valuable, do you still consider him the leader of that defense? Is he the leader on the defensive side of the ball, or is this Micah just by default?
That's Micah's defense. Now, D-Law still is one of the voices. I think J-Ron Curse is as well. But if I'm just saying, if I can only give out one trophy, I'm give it to Micah. But D-Law and Curse are definitely leaders on that side.
When asked, he asked about the differences, and I'll say gap between Philadelphia and the Cowboys defenses. Mm-hmm. Now, Philadelphia last year was biblical. I mean, what they were doing was nuts. Now, they didn't have enough to win a Super Bowl. And if they had, I think we would be talking about that defense in the same conversation we talk about the 85 Bears, and there's a couple of Steelers teams, and actually a couple Cowboys teams that were locked down, one of the greatest we'd ever seen. But because they lost, they're going to get lost in history. But let's not forget, 4 dudes, 10 sacks or better on the defensive line.
Crazy.
Cornerbacks that could cover, linebackers that could cover. This is everything that you chase. And I think that the Cowboys, according to D-Law, they've closed the gap.
I don't feel like it's a huge gap at all. I feel like it comes down to, certain details of not just the scheme, but also of, of your locker room. I feel like, through this time right now, when we headed the training camp, that, we make those adjustments. We learn those different things that we need to learn about our teammates so we can, fully function the way we should out there on the field.
Fully functioning.
He's always, D-Law's always been outspoken. But while I agree with him, I don't think it's necessary to say that. I don't think it's necessary to make a Philly defense that was already nasty, even more nasty, because you feel like, oh, well, then we're as good as you. And I can see the guys in the Philly locker room today saying, no, the hell you're not. But I agree with D-Law. I don't think it's a huge gap.
Which defense has a better opportunity at just stopping the other team? Not the rest of the NFL, not the rest of the NFC East. The Cowboys, are they built to stop this Eagles defense? And is the Eagles defense built to stop the Cowboys? Because that probably played a huge role in everything both teams did in the offseason.
Ooh. I think Philly is tougher to stop. So I would say Philly's defense has an easier time stopping Dallas than the vice versa. It's just because of the sheer amount of weapons. Now, again, they lost Miles Sanders, so we got to see what happens at running back. But Hurts, AJ, and Devontae are game changers. Not that CD isn't, but I give the edge to Hurts at QB. I give AJ Brown the edge, and I give Nick Sirianni the edge. And I love me some McCarthy, but Sirianni's proven to be a very, very has a real good pulse on what this team should be.
Judging by the type of talent they brought in and the free Gilmore and the likes and the drafting of Ozzie Smith, are they aiming at the Eagles or are they aiming at the 49ers in your mind?
Oh, you got to start in the division.
So you think they're aiming at the Eagles?
Yeah, you got to be aiming at the Eagles because, you know, the division is where it all starts. That's NFL 101. Like, I can't worry about San Fran. Now, they are our boogeyman, and we do play them again this season in the regular season. And at some point, we'll probably, if you're the Cowboys, you got to think you're going to meet them, but you got to worry about the Eagles first.
Wemby was asked his favorite starting five, his NBA fivesome, and he answered correctly on one of them. We'll look at who he views would take down the Monstars if we had to do it. Wemby's starting five, and his weekend, we're going to look very closely as Wemby hit San Antonio like a hurricane did. He even had himself some tacos. Wembantonio and all that goes along with it coming up next. You're on R&R, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A week is finally here. The 1-year celebration for Texas Cheer Liquor number 5 at 12 Truce Road out there in Bernie and Cordillera Ranch is this Friday. Join the Blitz. Jason and Joe will be out there from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. They're going to do the hourly bourbon giveaway at retail prices during the broadcast, as we did a couple of weeks ago at Texas Cheer Liquor number 1, Eagle Rare and Blanton's and some other really, really high dollar bourbons at retail. You cannot beat that. That alone is a reason for you to come out between 2 and 6. $2 off the margaritas to go. That's going to give you a chance to buy that extra shot. Deals on spirits, and of course, they're going to feed you free food and drinks, complimentary tastings from Lalo Tequila, Bacardi, and Old Smoky Moonshine, and more, plus giveaways. So that's the 1-year celebration. Texas Cheer Liquor number 5. San Antonio Sports Stars, the Blitz out there, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Bourbon, tastings, everything. You don't want to miss this. That's this Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's not just cheers, it's Texas Cheer.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz starting at 2 o'clock, Wemby weekend is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2. San Antonio Sports Star.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Staples has everything you need to help run your small business. Shipping supplies and services to help move orders out the door. Print and marketing services so you can print signs, banners, and presentations fast. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, you save 50% when you buy any combination of 5 or more boxes, mailers, and shipping tubes. Plus, find new deals for small business in-store every week. Keep your business running right and safe at Staples. Offer valid in-store, online order pickup, and Instacart. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. N71.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, AutoZone is here to help.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
What if I need a new one?
We have the right batteries right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone,
And what if I don't know how to connect it?
No problem. We have a how-to for you at AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The biggest Hollywood stars are coming to the Superhero Comic-Con and Car Show, presented by Thomas J. Henry, July 7th through the 9th in San Antonio. From the MCU, meet the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, the Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. And from Game of Thrones, stars Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington. Plus, Hawkeye's Haley Steinfeld and the Mandalorians, Katie Sackhoff and Ming-Na Wen. Tickets on sale now at bmxevents.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. It's R&R in the morning on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Victor Wembanyama has let the French national team know he will not play in the FIBA, electing to get ahead and get ready for the Spurs rookie season. Also, the Texans signed their third overall pick, Will Anderson Jr., to a fully guaranteed $35.2 million deal. And the Rangers lost to the Yankees in the final game of their series. They get it on with the Detroit Tigers tonight on San Antonio Sports Star, starting at 6:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left-hand slam. I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R here on San Antonio Sports Star. We're glad you're with us on a Monday morning. Don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you all the way to where you're going. We're going till 10 o'clock. We'll hit the exit lane there, but the Blitz gets going at 2 o'clock. Now, Joe Reinagle went to St. Louis, and the Cardinals were so excited that Joe was coming that they went to London and played the Cubs and got their ass kicked. So congratulations, Joe. I'm glad you forced the Cardinals out in London there. We'd like to congratulate the two new San Antonio Spurs, Sir Jabari Rice and Charlie Badeko. They did pick a couple of undrafted free agents. Jabari Rice, Sir Jabari, coming out of the UT program. Congratulations to them being signed to a couple of different contracts. As we welcome in Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, Wembantonio began in earnest on Friday as he arrived, and the party has continued all weekend long. I think he's headed to Portland. He's headed up to Oregon here in the next day or two to go finalize his contract, I guess, up there with Nike.
Maybe get a mold. Get a little Wemby mold for his foot, and then let him go shopping.
Yeah, let him go through the fan shop, grab a couple things.
Then you said you let your sister go crazy, you let your brother go crazy.
I wonder if the young brother's planning on coming to San Antonio. He was running around the AT&T there too.
I think
would you bring? You think they're coming? Because it'd be hard to leave Paris.
No, it wouldn't.
What?
Well, I've never been. Hey, what's so great about Paris?
The City of Lights? Are you kidding?
What's so great about Paris?
It's Paris and all that goes along with it.
Talk about you.
I love me some San Antonio, and we take a back seat to nobody, but I'm not even going to begin the comparison between here. We got a river, they got a river.
No, I think the whole family's going to be here.
You would think, right?
I mean, he needs that support group. They need to be around him. I mean, he's 19. This is what they've been working their entire lives toward, making sure he's ready for this moment. I doubt they just stay back in Paris.
I'm not saying I'm recruiting or anything, but there's a fine all-boys school downtown.
Nobody wants to go to Central Catholic.
To have a young Wembanyama help him, land softly in this brand new country that he's going to call home.
Hey, Central Catholic. You see, y'all got your own
I didn't say Central. You did. I just mentioned an all-boys school downtown. That's all I brought up now.
See how he is.
Wemby was asked, who's his starting five? Who are the guys that he looks up to that really kind of accomplish everything he does? And when I ever hear from Euros, and I ever hear from people outside of the United States, I'm always curious, because do they get basketball in the same prism that we do? Is it presented to them in the same way? What do they view as important? Is it the same things that American basketball fans view as important? What matters to them, I think, is maybe a little bit different. I thought his answer was well reasoned, because his five pretty close to mine, to be quite frank.
Yeah, he said, he was asked what team he would build to beat the Monstars.
The Monstars
from Space Jam, for those who haven't seen. But basically, what's his all-time starting five? And he went with Steph at the 1, MJ at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Tim Duncan 4.
There we go.
And Shaq 5.
Now,
that's a damn good 5.
I do. I think it's pretty solid.
I think that team could win about 75, 77 games in the regular season. What would your 5 be?
I don't know if I'd have Shaq on there.
Shaq would come off for me too.
Of the 4, Shaq would be the one that I would do the most research to see who I would replace. Second would be Steph. The other three, I think, go without saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Steph. I wouldn't have Steph either.
So I get what he's doing, especially if I'm playing the Monstars. I need a beast in the paint because they're playing against rhinoceroses and the like. I might go Shaq. But on my top, no, I don't. I'm not sure.
My 5, I'm going to go Magic, MJ, Bron, Tim, and Hakeem.
Hakeem.
I'm going Hakeem over Shaq to beat the Monstars. Hakeem, Tim, Bron, MJ, and Magic.
I'm going to go Magic over Steph. I'm not sure if I'm taking Shaq out now or not. Because it'd be easy for me to throw in like Jokic, but that's only a year. You haven't showed me anything. And Embiid still isn't where he's going. And then I could look back at David and Hakeem. And it's hard for me to argue against Shaq. When I first saw that, I thought, well, you're kind of a victim of circumstance, and you really... It's Shaq. I'm with him there. I'd only flip out Magic. That's the only guy that I would flip out away. What's y'all's thoughts? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Then yet to be named, newly monikered text and phone lines. If you'd like to put your banner on there, you're more than welcome to. Morgan.Harrison@alphamediausa.com. Our phone lines need a sponsor. What would your 5 to beat the Monstars? 656-3776, 656-ESPN to you and me, and tell us who the 5 would be.
The 5 I would put against that 5, other than the Monstars, to match Magic's size, I'd go Penny.
Really? Of all time, you'd go Penny.
Prime. And this is to match Magic. I got to match Magic because Magic's 6'9".
I'm not against it.
Okay. Kobe at the 2.
No Kobe in that first grouping.
No, I got to put MJ there. Even though I think, whatever. We'll talk about that another day. KD at the 3.
So we're at Penny, Kobe, KD.
Joker at the 4. Let him and Tim battle.
Joker at 4?
I'm putting
That's
Joker
not the position he plays.
Don't semantics. Shaq. Then I'd go Shaq versus Hakeem. I put Shaq on this second team.
I think a first team wins. I like Penny, Kobe, KD, Joker, and Shaq, but I think the
you sure about that?
I don't know, man.
Because
where's Larry on this? Larry didn't make either one of those.
You know what? And that's disrespectful. It's highly disrespectful. It is.
Well, on either one of these teams, if you had to switch him out, who would you switch him out for? Because I don't know, you'd switch him out on either one of these.
I would switch him out.
See, where? Where are you putting him?
And then, please, LeBron Slurpers, don't hate me. I would switch. I want to keep KD on this team, but if I would switch him out at Bron for more shooting, I'd have Larry. I'd put Larry on that first team because I have Magic and MJ, who Magic can't shoot. MJ was streaky as far as the 3-ball. Larry, I get a 3-point threat, and I stretch the floor out a little bit. So if there's one team I'd put him on, I'd put him on that team over there.
Looking through Wemby's lens and the guys that he picked.
He went Steph. I mean, you got to keep in mind, Steph, that's his era.
Yes, because he should have picked
that's
Magic.
his era.
He should. I mean,
but Steph was a game changer.
Oh, and I get it. But 7'5" to 6'5".
Right.
I mean, you'd have thought he'd have gone, point guard, I like Magic. I like the tall guy.
I do
no
too.
Giannis in here, no Freak, no Jokic, no international players. He went old school NBA, old school OG NBA. I wonder how many of the American-born players, if you asked them to pick the 5 Monstars, would have gone with that, the OG old school kind of idea. No Kobe from this generation? He didn't mention him?
The thing about it is Kobe, everybody says, hey, dude, you tried to be MJ. And you're pretty close, but you're not. And I get that. While I don't agree with it, I get it. I stopped arguing that a long time ago.
We got word earlier today, and I guess we can all kind of celebrate. Wemby has announced that he will not play for the French in the FIBA national or the FIBA international tournament that's coming up at the end of the summer. So what does that mean to you? Well, the time you're going to get to see Wemby is coming up fast as the Las Vegas Summer League has announced their schedule. That's getting started in about 10 days or so. If he's not playing in the FIBAs, He says the quote has been he plans on, or they plan on him, depending on who you talk to, participating in the summer. Now, we don't know if they're talking Sacramento or Vegas, but he will, in fact, participate in these summer festivities. How much do you expect?
What's your coach used to ask you, right?
Are you a player or a participant?
Participating, that could mean layup line.
Yes.
And then he just sits there and waves and looks happy. And, again, the NBA wants him there. The Spurs want him there. Speaking of Vegas, I'm not even throwing Cali in this mix. Sorry, Cali. Like, y'all just got started. Y'all can't have him. I know they want him there for optics. Now, it's up to the Spurs on how much he feel like he should play.
Does the team that they're going to put around him this summer, do you think that means it?
I think he needs some reps with those guys. This is who you're going to be growing with.
And I
for
don't
the
think,
time being.
If I'm Jeremy Sohan, I have earned the right not to have to play in this thing.
It's his second season. No, he hasn't.
He was second team All-NBA. He played in the All-Star game. Dude, you've earned the right. You don't have to go do this if you don't want to. And that's the way I'd portray it. But but if Victor's coming, I need you. You're gonna have to be there.
Y'all got to get used to being on the floor together. And that's the thing with Victor as well. Like I know they want to do the bubble wrap thing, but he needs reps under these rules. And now you could say, Rudy, we could do that in the preseason.
Fair. You could, but you need the game. And I do like
at least preseason, you're playing against guys that are in the league.
Right.
Summer league, you're playing against a bunch of guys that are headed to Greece.
That is the other worry that we don't really talk about in polite company. That while this is the NBA showcase for the recently drafted and the soon-to-be star, most of the summer league activity ain't about them. It's about the 12th and 13th guy on your roster who's just trying to find a gig anywhere in the world. And those are the guys you're worried about that might make that little extra effort play to go get a block or get a charge or get something that might
slide
wound
underneath them.
One of your superstars just because they're trying to make a name.
Bubble wrap. Bubble.
A player or a participant? He tells us he does plan on participating. Now, I
feel bad for him, though. I feel bad for him in the sense that I know how important his country is to him, and to have to make that decision this early on. Like, soon as you get drafted, you have to tell your country, hey, by the way, guys, y'all won't see me until the Olympics in 2024. And he admitted it to Eloquip. Like, dude, I know everyone's frustrated. I hope they'll understand. I'm frustrated as well. Trust me, I know it's a big deal to us because we're like, hey, cool. But in France, I'm sure the phone lines, the Twitter, I'm sure he's trending in France right now because of this decision.
Have they? I don't know if they've won a World. Have they won a FIBA? We can check that, but I don't know,
Rob. I don't know.
They've certainly had very, very good teams in the past. There's probably been 30 French come through the NBA over the last 20 years or so.
I know it's going to be hard to score on them in the Olympics with him and Gobert just chilling at the rim because it's international rules. They're standing underneath the basket, blocking everything that comes through.
Now, the NBA has taken great care in putting together the opportunity for us to see those young stars that were recently drafted. They've given us the summer league schedule, and right off the bat, the Spurs were going to get busy. They're going to take on Charlotte and Scoot right off the bat. That first
Brandon. Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller. I'm sorry. On Charlotte on that very first Monday night. They'll be taking on Brandon Miller. Scoot very quickly to follow. They've given us the matchups. This is a matter of, are we going to actually see them?
You got to give us 4 or 5 minutes of Brandon versus Wemby, and then you got to give us 4 or 5 minutes of Wemby versus Scoot. Like, come on now.
We're going to see him. I'm comfortable. We're going to see him play in the 4 games that are scheduled. He will play in all 4. Now, anything after that, I'm not sure. But I think that they're going to map out the minutes.
Really?
I can't imagine. Now, there would be reason to pull him out. Either he has a terrible injury. He starts out just not there physically or mentally just because of what he's gone through. And then you feel like you got to keep playing him because you don't want to leave after, on a bad outing. But he might show up and ball out in that first game, and we might go, lock him up, dude. We've seen enough.
Yeah, he comes out there, and that's the thing about it is you want to have him get out there, get to play alongside of some of the guys he's going to be playing alongside of, but also just get familiar with the game and get his confidence rolling. I just want to see him get out there and just say, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm fine. I knew I'd be fine. But again, this is summer league.
76 total games. The tournament itself goes for 10 days, the 7th through the 17th, though. Every team is only guaranteed about 4 games. They play a spade of 2, a little bit of break.
Was it a round robin?
Yeah, they have a pool play, and then if you play your way through. Now, keep in mind, the Summer League was the intro to the world for Becky Hammond. I mean, she coached a team that went and won. And it did kind of give the Spurs a little bit of a trampoline effect into the regular season. We really felt good about ourselves that summer when
I remember that. And then also kind of put Becky in that light of like, hey, at some point we're going to have to make sure she gets an NBA job. I mean, of course, she ends up going to WNBA, win the title, but it put her on the map. Put the Spurs on the map as well for being, forward thinking and proactive on that end.
Finding their way there. In the next segment, in the 9:30, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Dallas Cowboys and their additions and a poll that was taken by John Machota from Cowboy fandom on a variety of subjects. If you're a Cowboy fan, you're not going to want to miss it for sure. The NBA now will start focusing.
It's heating up.
Yeah, the NBA is now going to start focusing on them players that we know are good or great. And I get the sense as we have gone from the draft to yesterday afternoon, this whole idea about Dame Lillard staying in Portland, I think, is getting iffier and iffier. Am I wrong on this thought?
No. It's serious. I know Sam Amick. He's saying that on Dame's end, he has serious consideration. He really would consider going to Miami to play with Jimmy and Bam. Now, this is the problem. If I'm Portland, y'all want me to give y'all Dame Lillard, and I know I'm not getting Jimmy Butler because obviously that Pat Riley wants to pair him with him, but y'all ain't gonna give me Bam. Then what the hell are you giving me? Like how? Like it's all fun and well to play, GM and put the little trade thing in there and play matchmaker and all. Well, the numbers work if I do this, but if you're Portland, you're giving up Dame Lillard. You're not going to ask for Bam out of box. I'm starting with Bam if I'm Portland. Okay, Bam, Hero, and okay, what else we talking about?
That's about it. I don't know what else.
What do you mean that's about it?
For
Dame.
For Dame, I don't know what else they got to offer.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what
I'm saying. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. Because if I'm Portland, I'm like, okay, hey, how y'all doing? Oh, good, Pat. Good to hear from you, man. What's going on? What's going to take to get Dame? Bam, Tyler Hero, some draft picks. Do you want me to keep going?
Well, yeah, you better keep going. What else? What else you got?
Well, Bam, I know Bam has a contract and Hero has a contract. So I think with those two guys, I think you can make the money work. But is that enough? Because what I react to that, if I'm Pat Riley, Rob, is, okay, yeah, you have Dame ranked this high and you want all this stuff, but where has he gotten you?
Well, he got me pretty far on his own. I can count at least 2 buzzer-beating series winners.
Because again, these GMs, while yes, sometimes you have to trade a star away, Rob, I'm also not in the business just of helping you and just killing my chances.
Why are we talking so much about trading Dame? I know they drafted Scoot.
Right.
That doesn't mean they got to keep him.
Well,
I would be hanging Scoot out there too.
Oh, so in the trade thing, it'd be Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Jaime Jaquez, who we think highly of, a 27 first pick and a 29 first pick. Look, Rob, Scoot is still, as we can think what we want.
That ain't enough, man. Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Jaime Jaquez, and a couple of futures. That ain't enough for Dame
Bam
Lillard,
ain't
man.
even on there. Bam not even on there. But you would dangle Scoot. Scoot is the reason. Now that you know Dame is really ready to go, that's why you drafted Scoot.
I only trade Scoot for something Dame wants. I'm either in it for the now or I'm in it for the long. I'm not in between. So I'm either trading Dame for a lot of future crap. A lot of not this, not Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry, but I'm trading him for the future, and there'll be a lot of future coming. Or I'm trading for the now. I'm getting everything Dame could possibly get for the next 2 years, one or the other. And if it's for the now, I'll move Scoot. I'm in it for the 2 years that I'll have Dame, and whether it's Bam or you name the guy you feel is most appropriate. And quite frankly, I think that's the problem. What is the most appropriate guy or grouping of guys to get to Portland to help Dame? I'm not sure what he needs.
He needs that. I mean, there's reports out there about Siakam, but that still ain't enough. That's not Joker and Jamal Murray. That's not. I don't even think they could beat the Suns with that. So
he had a running mate in a guard that is all-star, and that didn't work. He was with a good big man in LaMarcus. He was young, but he was still there. That didn't work. They got a skilled offensive. Well. Yeah, Nurkic, who could get a bucket at any moment, couldn't play a lick of D.
Right.
So they went offense on the side. That didn't work. They went and got a little bit more athletic on the front side of the court, on the small forward, the kid they got from North Carolina a couple years ago. That hasn't helped. They went and got another point guard. I don't know what I can go get to get Dame any help. What exactly does he need?
He needs that 6. He needs a Jaylen Brown. I like a Jaylen Brown. Like, that somebody like that. Somebody 6'7", 6'8", that can take pressure off of him, can also average 30 if need be. Paul George comes to mind.
He is the most likely star to get traded. I think more than
Paul George,
more than Dame, more than anybody else hanging out in the league that's, getting to the end of their track, getting to the end of their, might be overpaid.
Right.
I think Paul George will not be a Clipper. I think it was very, very quiet up until the draft. There were no takers. Now the draft is done, and the Clippers have turned up the volume. Now we're hearing it from everywhere.
Right.
Ooh.
Dame, you know what the problem is, Rob? I think Dame needs 2 guys.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If it's not, if it ain't Steph, if it's not one of the elite of all elites, Siakam by himself ain't gonna be enough. Paul George by himself ain't gonna be enough. Like, I can't think of just that one person. It's going to have to be one other guy and then one other kind of star and some depth. They're not going to answer his prayers with just one guy, which is why I feel like they should go full rebuild with Anthony Simons and Scoot, and then whatever you can get for Dame.
And at that point, if I know I'm in full rebuild, the funny thing about that, the deal gets a whole lot easier to make.
How's that?
Because I don't feel like I got to squeeze every little last bit of juice out of this fruit. I'm planning for the future. I'll trade Dame, and I might not necessarily need that third superstar. I might be willing to take maybe a little bit more distant draft pick instead. I think if they're all in to go retool, I'm holding on to Scoot. I'm holding on to my young guys, and everybody else can go, and it might be a little bit easier to make that deal. But if I'm trying to win it now.
Yeah, win it now. You got to.
Then the deal is going to be just about impossible to make.
I mean, the Wizards gave up on Bradley Beal for pretty much nothing. They went full rebuild.
Scroll this back up real quick on the possible move for Paul George, which I find interesting. To the Knicks. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, a 24 first, another 24 first round protected through Dallas for Paul George. I think that's a pretty fair deal.
Then you have Randall, Brunson, and Paul George.
I think that's a better threesome than
that.
Yeah, and then
because RJ Barrett ain't it. I hate to have to give up on Quickly. I'm high on Quickly and Maxey.
Well, Quickly's the meat of that deal.
Yeah, but you have to. But I would hate to have to give him up. But if I could get Paul George and Brunson and Randall, woo.
We do get late word over the weekend that DeAndre Ayton might very well be staying in Phoenix.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
That's
I don't know
nuts.
who. I don't know who in the building is so in love with him, but somebody is. Because again, remember when the Pacers signed him to that restricted deal and Phoenix ended up matching it? I'm guessing right now at this point with DeAndre Ayton, Rob, they're like, okay, let's see what he's like without Monty here.
Mm-hmm.
Player one out. Him and Monty hated each other. He kind of quit on Monty. But if you quit on Monty, to me, I feel like you'll quit on anybody. But let's see what he looks like a year under Frank Vogel.
We saw that. We talked just a little bit about this last week, that when all this was going down, when the trade for Beal was happening, there were questions going on like, who's in charge in Phoenix? And then then Isaiah Thomas's name came up, where the new owner for the Suns got in with Thomas way back when in the Detroit area, because the new owner for the Suns is from Michigan, a billionaire there, started a mortgage company, but somehow knows Isaiah. Anybody who has followed Isaiah Thomas's post-playing career knows he is a tornado. Every place he passes through is left utterly destroyed. from his time with the Knicks to the time with UCF. He single-handedly closed down the CBA. He bought the CBA. Remember the Continental Basketball Association, what is now the G League? Well, he bought the CBA and ruined it. They just closed the doors, changed the name. And now he's in Phoenix, and he's talked Vogel and everybody else into keeping Ayton, the dude who wants out of there so desperately you could see it on the court all year.
And now when you add Bill to the fold, it really comes down to who Ayton is, Rob, because if he thought he was Chris Bosh before, he just got demoted to Mike Miller.
We can change him. I can change him. All he needs is the right kind of love. That's all DeAndre needs.
Vogel could get him to. Vogel's a defensive coach. If Vogel can't do anything, he can get him to play some defense. But you got to get him to understand that he's the fourth option.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not running any plays for you, bro. You're gonna get all your points from lobs and putbacks.
How long before we hear an angry DeAndre Ayton? Does he make it out of training camp without voicing his disgust, his anger on how he's being used defensively? I'm an offensive star.
You know what? It's unfortunate that that's the case, Rob, because they could be really good if Ayton just said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna accept my role and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. They'd be damn near unbeatable. Because he is that talented. He can be a defensive anchor. He can set the screens. He can roll to the lob. It gives him so many out. He has a little mid-range. But I think right now he's like, dude, screw this. He's where James Harden was when he was in OKC. Like, yeah, this was fun, but I want to go show everybody that I can play. And I think that's where Ayton is. And it's unfortunate it gets like that sometimes. Sometimes winning doesn't become a priority until later on, until you've shown the world and you've made all your money. So I think that's where Ayton is, which is crazy to me.
If Ayton thinks his offensive life is getting better with the addition of Bradley Beal and with KD there, you think you're getting more touches? I don't understand this at all.
That's why he wants out.
Well, maybe he doesn't, is what I'm getting at. And I think Isaiah Thomas is behind the scenes screwing everything up.
Gotcha.
Hey, coming back, let's continue on the Wemby train. If so, we're offering Victory Cigars, and you can't say victory without Victor, can you? Victories and Swishers coming your way. This is R&R. You're on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. How you feeling this morning? I hope you woke up on a Monday in June feeling as good as you ever have. Better than you have in the last 10 years. I hope that's you. And if that is you, you can just shut up and keep it to yourself. You're obviously doing something that works. If you're like the rest of us, I contend that you need to go to the Institute for Functional Health. If you woke up today like you did yesterday, the day before, the year before, the decade before, where you didn't do anything to help yourself, you just woke up exhausted, you probably didn't sleep very good, you know you're overweight, and you're walking into this heat going, I never had the energy anyway, and now I'm fighting 100 degrees to find the pepper that I need to go through the day. If that's you, I contend that you need to talk with Dr. Jacob Torres and the Institute for Functional Health. Let me tell you why. I am 57 years old. I woke up this morning feeling like better than I have in the last 10 years. And I can say that for the last 6 years, that every day has gotten a little bit better. You know why? Because Dr. Torres and the IFF focused my attention on my health. Diet's played a role in that, but there's also so many things that go into your functional health that I can't even begin to explain. And that's why Dr. Torres and the IFF have been so successful with so many people on their weight loss journey. It's not a diet you're jumping into with Dr. Torres. You are going to change your life. You're going to change your attitude about food. You're going to change your attitude about how your days should go. And once you start understanding how food plays a role in that, suddenly the idea of a diet goes away and a lifestyle takes over. Now, the old ideas about weight loss haven't changed. He bases everything he does in medical science, but he adds into it that little art, that little bit of extra that goes into your functional health. And it's been that has made me so successful. I'm down over 60 pounds now. 6 years ago, I was pushing 3 bills. Now I'm closer to 2 than I've ever been. I'm under 240. Hard to believe, but here I am. It's a slow and steady growth. Is something I'm never going to change. If you have finally resolved that it is now time to lose the weight, whether a doctor's telling you, your loved one is telling you, or you're just tired of seeing what you see in the mirror, I want you to make the call and talk with Dr. Torres. Let him explain far better than I ever could why he's been so successful. The number's 468-1891. The website is iffhealth.com. It's a great resource. Go there, get the questions you need, make an informed decision. But once you talk with Dr. Torres and jump on the program, I bid you great luck, because it ain't the easiest thing you're ever going to do. It's the best thing you're going to do for yourself. And before you know it, you're going to see results. And when you do, I'm sure you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz starting at 2 o'clock, Wemby weekend is in the rearview mirror. Had the big press conference on Saturday afternoon. We'll have all the highlights from everybody that was talking on Saturday, from Wemby to RC, plus the Dallas Cowboys news and the athletic survey. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi there, I'm Dwayne Charping, owner of Roof Fix. We understand how stressful it is dealing with storm damage. That's why we're offering a special deductible relief program that gives you instant rebates up to $2,500 that you can use towards your deductible. Plus, our relief program also includes 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months with approved credit.
Call Roof Fix today at 210-FIX-ROOF or visit their website at rooffixsa.com. Roof Fix,
home of the low price guarantee.
Car wrecks can wreck your life. They can leave you with medical bills, lost wages. Most importantly, they can leave you with lasting pain. That's why you should call Hilly & Solis. Hey, guys, it's Rudy J, and I'm here to tell you about Hilly & Solis. They're former prosecutors that know how to fight and know how to win. They're going to listen to your story and guide you through the legal process. They want to get you all the compensation you deserve. Insurance companies have their own interests in mind, so you have to keep that in mind. And their goal is to settle that claim as fast as possible for as little money as possible, but you deserve more, and Hilly & Solis understands that. Compensation for your injuries, your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. It's so important, though, that you act quickly after the car wreck. Evidence disappears, memories fade, and statutes of limitations may apply. So call them right now for your free, no obligation consultation right now. 210-762-6261. That's 210-762-61, 210-762-6261.
Principal office in San Antonio, Texas. Message brought to you by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number M16004, DACLA 000743458.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle, so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
O'Reilly.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
It's time for the Victory Cigar. Light 'em if you got 'em. Who gets the Cohiba? Will it be a Fuente, an El Presidente, and who gets the Swisher Sweet? It's R&R in the Morning's Victory Cigar. Here's Robin Rudy.
Hey, smoke them if you got them. We offer them if you earned it. Light it up, whether it be a Cubano.
You got your wire that on today. It's like perfect for Victory Cigar Day.
I need a small cup of very strong coffee, a shot of rum, and a Churchill-sized gauge 6-foot-long cigar. One of those big moose cigars.
Oh, one of those. No, see, I can't get no good draw.
Start smoking this morning and still be busy sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Well, you can't
When's the
say
last time
Victory.
you smoked a cigar in the morning, like on vacation with a little coffee, Bailey's?
Probably on a golf course, probably with you.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
That's
with you. I think it was the last time with you, actually. With
You
the
smoked 2 that day.
I did, and it didn't help my game one lick. Never really has. We offer our Victory cigars for a variety of reasons, whether you successfully attained something that you were chasing or you fell ass backwards into it. But, success breeds success, and we like to honor that. Who would you like to offer your Victory cigar?
I'm going to give a box to the city of San Antonio. The handling of Wemby from the lottery to the draft, because, the draft, we already knew it was going to happen, but yet we still came out in droves. We went to the airport. We went to the Meet the Rookies. There was a few fans that came out for the introductory press conference. Everything, going out for the jerseys, getting out to the murals. Everything. I just love the vibe and the energy that's, ringing loudly right now in the city, all because of Mr. Wembanyama. We're the center of we're the center of the sports world right now because of this kid, and we're acting accordingly because, again, we're one of the few title towns in the NBA, and for us, this feels like, okay, this is the first piece to getting back to, River Parade. So I'm going to give my Victory box of cigars to the city of San Antonio. I love good energy. I'm an energy person, and the energy right now has me hyped.
And rightfully so. And this city it does feel different.
It feels different.
And, you and I are different because everywhere we go, we always get Spurs questions. It's nothing new for us. But now we're not getting questions. We're getting statements. For the last 4 years, everything I got was, what are the Spurs going to do here? What are we going to do this? What are we going to do about this? What do you expect from now? I don't get the questions. I just get, can you believe it? We got him. It's not about what ifs and what abouts. Now it's all about what's about to happen. And the city just really kind of feels
Dude, you said your 83-year-old mom went to Academy looking for a Wemby jersey.
Looking for a Wemby shirt. Now that's the difference.
That's why I'm giving the Victory cigar to San Antonio, because we hype, and I love it. I love it. There's nothing wrong with that. We've lost 62 games for this.
We've earned it. We have certainly put into work. Now, I think that goes without saying, and certainly San Antonio light up that cigar. But I'm going to offer a little bit of a happiness to a franchise that I don't like. I'm not happy that this is happening, but I'm happy that it is, if that makes some sense. The NFL owners have been told to gather together on July the 20th. They want everybody to fly, all the NFL owners to fly to Minneapolis, as Josh Harris will finally sign the paperwork to take full and complete ownership of the Washington Commanders. July the 20th, we will finally wave goodbye to little Danny Snyder, and all that is done, it does appear that Josh Harris has jumped through the hoops. Jerry has given the final approval, and he will be the new Washington Commanders owner, and the Commanders and fandom all throughout the world can take a deep breath. Your long nightmare is over.
So he found the liquidity because it wasn't a liquid thing.
Yeah, I think they just
sold some stuff.
Yeah, he had to, there's a certain amount of debt that you're not allowed to carry to become an NFL owner, even though you're printing money. But they want to ensure that you're capitalized to the extent if there is another COVID lockdown, you can still pay your dues. That's kind of where this was at. So I think Josh Harris and his ownership group have convinced only one guy. Because Jerry's the one that's gives the final approval on this crap. But he goes, I imagine there's 10 other owners that go, what's Jerry voting? No, it's the truth. He negotiates their TV deals. Jerry, when it comes to the ownership and that kind of stuff, I think plays a huge role.
I got you.
And to the detriment of the league sometimes. They got their ass handed to them over the Stan Kroenke leaving St. Louis for L.A., and Jerry was behind that every step of the way, and St. Louis won a pretty significant lawsuit against the Rams and probably against the NFL for exiting the way that they did. So
help them out a little bit.
So I'm going to give them a victory cigar
Harris,
just because.
Josh Harris in the group, because Magic's in this group too.
I think he is.
Yeah, Magic's in that group.
The long NFL nightmare is finally done. Now we'll just wait and see if Danny Snyder's going to drop, I'm sold. Okay, here's the email implicating all you fools and all this stuff that I didn't want to talk about.
And now I think they'll pay Chase Young. I think Josh was like, hey, we ain't nobody getting no long-term deal until I buy this team.
Worse owner. And I'm not talking about news and headlines, just for team on the field or court.
Okay.
Dan Snyder or Michael Jordan. Worse owner. Michael's been living.
Wait. What? Okay. What are we? But what are the terms?
I'm just talking about the product.
Well, see,
you
Mike's
put
been
on the field.
You know what? Mike's been a bad GM. I don't know if he's been a bad owner. So, what are you asking me about? Owner?
Well, if you're the owner who plays GM, I think you get to Jerry gets quantified as both. I think Michael should be graded the same way.
It hasn't been good, Rob. I mean, it was a hell of a flip. $250 million. Turned it into $2 billion. Hell of a flip.
He made money,
flip.
But if you're a Hornet fan, are you happy today?
I can't say I am. No, Rob. It's been bad.
Pretty lousy owner.
It's been bad. Doesn't have a real good eye for talent. Hopefully that changes course with LaMelo and now Brandon Miller.
And far be it for me to allow the Commanders any happiness at all. I don't want them to win.
But no, we shouldn't hold this. See, the slate is clean with me now.
But I get it.
Josh Harris didn't do anything. That was everything that we hated about the Commanders, from the treatment of the cheerleaders to, wherever. Name it. You name it. But now with Josh Harris, I have no reason to hate the Commanders now. What has he done? And Magic's on the squad. Who doesn't like everything and anything about Magic Johnson? So yeah, we'll give a victory cigar to Josh Harris. I'm with that.
These are some numbers underneath.
They might have to change the name though still, right? I heard that.
Under Snyder's ownership, Washington has been below 500 or worse 18 times. They've made the playoffs just 6 times with 2 playoff wins. Won the NFC East 4 times. The one is actually that one is actually comparable to the history. And the franchise has employed 8 full-time head coaches. There's history. Josh Harris comes in with the history of ownership with the 76ers, the NHL Devils. I'm sure the rest of the league is quite happy to say goodbye to Snyder. Go light yourself up a Cubano. All right, who's the loser of your weekend? Who gets the swisher?
Oh man, again, sad story. Again, the internet has no heart. The internet just doesn't care. People don't, I think we're so numb to death that people, just start firing off memes like no, these people aren't even in the grave yet. The people ain't even in the grave yet. But I got to give the Swisher Sweet to whoever, anybody and everybody that said, let's take this fake submarine down 2 miles of the ocean and try to go see the Titanic. I didn't even know about the story. Rob's sitting in here, it was pre-show. Rob's like, hey, man, you hear about this fake submarine and they can't find? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, yeah, man, these 5 billionaires they built a fake-ass submarine and they're taking it to go find the Titanic, and now they can't find them. And after that, I looked it up and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And to see the way that they died, and to see that, they had people telling them that this was a horrible idea. One of the kids on there he didn't even want to go, but he wanted to please his dad. So he decided to go anyway. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. And everybody involved, everybody that had a hand in it and everybody that okayed it should feel awful. So I can't do anything but hand these people a Swisher Sweets. The craziest story. And the internet, man, you people.
Do you think that this will, it won't end, but do you think the reservations to go up on those spaceships, those you can go orbit the planet for 100,000 have dropped?
People still go.
Would you go to space before you went underwater?
You know what? I don't know, Rob, because there's sometimes when I get up on, when we get above the clouds in the plane, I do have those moments where I'm like, you really trust man enough to put this big ass thing in the air 40,000 feet and fly you across the country. Like, you really trusted this. So I have my moments where I hate flying. So I don't know if I do space.
I think I would do space before submarine.
But I've seen too many rockets blow up.
Oh, I agree.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've seen these rockets.
Is there a parachute in a submarine? A reverse parachute
in the submarine?
That'll take me to the top real fast.
You still explode at that depth, so there's no need for it. It's like a seatbelt on an airplane.
All I know is if I had taken a tour and I'm about to give you $250,000 and you show me this tin can I'm about to climb into, and they say, "Oh, by the way, we drive it with this Sega controller." Dude, I'm out.
Yeah, I would. When you broke it down to me, like, because I was like, you know what? I don't know if Rudy would have got on there if somebody would have said, "Hey, I got an extra space. You don't have to pay." And then you broke it down. You're like, we're gonna go 2 miles down.
No heat. It's gonna be cold as crap. You got a couple sandwiches and some Gatorade.
Yeah, you
here,
got to
pee in a
take
bottle.
turns stretching.
And here, there's a bottle you pee into, and a little curtain.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They had a little curtain for a bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not doing it
for $250,000. You're making what? You made $1 million on this, and you can't come up with better than this: a curtain and a bottle of pee in, and some sandwiches. I think I'll go to the space. I think I'll go hang out with.
If you made me, you put a gun to my, you could put a gun to my head. I'm choosing space.
There was that great worry that they were sitting down at the bottom of the ocean, banging on the wall, trying to find somebody to come find them.
They had already, whatever exploded.
Swisher Sweets. I'm going to send my Swisher Sweet to an easy candidate, Antonio Brown.
What did he do?
It's time for him to go away.
What did Antonio Brown do?
Okay. So over the last couple of weeks, he bought this NAL Arena League team.
Got you.
That has since gone out of business. This is a team in the league that our first place San Antonio Gunslingers are in. So they go out of business midway through. Before they even went bankrupt and left, he's the owner of this team. He's trying to play himself. He wasn't paying his players or his coaches. They were threatening to not even play. He came up with the money. And then, they played again, and then they lost the franchise. Well, this weekend he was still making news. He sat in with Tyreek Hill on his podcast, It Needed to Be Said. He addressed his unusual departure, blaming Tom Brady yet again.
What did Tom do?
So he said Tom was trying to make him play hurt. Tom called me and told me he'd hit me up. He'd hit me with 10 to 12, so I gassed me up, and that's when I needed to that's all I needed to hear. But, as a player, if you're effing up, but your team needs you, you just suck it up and go and play in the game. And then basically Brady said, we want you to play injured because we kind of need you. And he said that was it. And he walked out. I want Antonio Brown to go away and never come back. You were colorful and you were fun to watch.
And
but
he was
now
a dog.
but now you're ruining other people's careers. You had a bunch of minor league football players that are just hanging on, dude. Just hanging on, just trying to get a weekend gig. And you couldn't even handle that right. So they went out of business. All those guys are unemployed. Now you're throwing Tampa and Tom under the bus. And Tampa, you know what you are to Tom Brady? A bug on the sidewalk.
And not only that, remember, Tom went out of his way to get him a touchdown.
A couple of
times. Get him a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Let him move into his home. Let him move into his West Wing. Tom just had the North, South, and East. And, he said, Antonio, you take the West. We'll work out. Like, went above and beyond for Antonio Brown. Made sure he called some play that wasn't even in the playbook so he could get a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And this is the thanks.
You're still.
Yeah, he deserves more than a switch.
Antonio, listen, these numbers are kind of surprising. In the 16 games he played with Tom Brady, he had over 1,000 yards, 91 receptions, and 9 touchdowns. That is a respectable end to anybody's NFL career, and you're still throwing this cat under the bus.
I don't know. It must have ended badly. Maybe some stuff went on that we don't know about. Maybe Tom's an ass behind closed doors. I don't know.
Go smoke that Swisher. You can stuff in it what you normally stuff into it, I think, Antonio, but go smoke yourself a Swisher. You earned it.
Amen. Amen. I think that's a good one. That's a good Swisher. I had no idea about that he owned one of the teams in the Gunslingers League.
Yeah, he owned the New York.
And they went out of business.
Yeah.
So they went out of the business the week they were about to play the Gunslingers.
They were coming to San Antonio.
You told me that.
And they had to remanufacture the schedule for everybody. So the ended up San Antonio, our Gunslingers, who have now won, they're now 8-1 and in first place comfortably in the NAL, have beaten the West Texas Warbirds. And one of the most difficult things to do 3 times in one regular season. They have now taken them down. Coach Fred Shaw's got him a good football team. Go see him play.
My 1A Swisher Suite would be Victor's outfit to Bliss. I know you're a kid, and I know you're Wemby, and you run the world. And you know, when you run the world, you get to do and wear as you want what you want. But if we're going to a nice dinner with legends, we may not want to put on purple swimming trunks.
And they're like chubbies.
They ain't even like the mid thigh.
Those are.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not purple. They're aqua with the polo. Yeah. Again, I forget he's a kid.
And he's buttoned up though. Got to give him some love.
Get a little bit of love, but hey, I'm gonna treat you like family. You family now, so I'm gonna slice you up every now and then. That outfit for a nice dinner out is unacceptable, Victor. It's unacceptable, bro. So he's my 1A Swisher. He's family now. We can cut him. He's family.
We've seen this picture floating around. If you haven't, it's the picture.
It's a legendary photo
of the 4 horsemen plus Wemby all joined. Only guy not in this picture that should be is Tony Parker. But all the and Ice and George Gervin.
And Ice. We always leave Ice out. I don't know why.
In the pantheon of history of the Spurs, this was a dinner that will go down in history, and rumors of what was spoken of and what was actually done are going to be floating around forever. I wish I'd have been a fly on the wall. They went to Dough Pizza. Is that
Bliss?
Oh, Bliss. They're at Bliss.
I
That's
saw
right.
a picture of this on a whole other day. I saw a picture of Victor at this place called Mars Pizza on the northeast side, which is some really good pie.
So now, we're making fun of Wemby. It is San Antonio. I'm making fun of him, dude. We're making fun of him.
Let's make fun of him. He's family. We can.
You wore your bathing suit to Bliss,
Come
bro.
on, dog.
You're from Paris. You should
Bliss
know better.
Is really nice.
So, but if you look at the 4 that he's meeting, so he strolls in his neon swimming trunks and buttoned up polo. You see Sean Elliott, who looks like he just got off work. Sean was doing some TV that day.
Sean definitely has on the call center.
So he does have on outfit. All the appropriate stuff. David looks like a retired San Antonian. He's got his Wayubera on. And he starts the
Air Force Ones.
He got
the Air Force Ones with the dad cut at the bottom. I'm with it.
He went cash after work.
Yes. He has casual Friday.
Now Manu,
it's fire.
Showed up. Now he and Wemby are the only really, well, I guess Sean's an employee of the Spurs. Manu is got a role with the Spurs. Yeah, he's got Manu showed up in culottes and no socks. Manu showed up in culottes, Air Force Ones, and a white
He's a cyclist now. Maybe it's the cyclist in him.
Okay, so Manu doesn't have socks on. He's wearing culottes. Meanwhile, Tim Duncan showed up looking like one of the guys from the Breakfast Club. You know, the radical one, the one that was getting high.
I just watched that the other day.
Then he looks like Judd Nelson. He's got jeans on, combat boots, a white T-shirt. Got the
dreads.
Got the dreads tied back.
The dreads, man.
He looked like he'd been fixing cars. Looked like he left blackjack on the still had oil and grease on his hands.
Ride. Looked like he was fresh off a Harley ride, like the leather jackets on the back of his chair.
So if I told you this picture represents roughly $1 billion in total wealth,
more than that.
Yeah, rough.
I think
David's worth half that.
Yeah, I think Wemby's going to be worth $1 billion on his own.
Well, right now David's worth $500 million, easy with his hedge fund and all that. There's $1 billion there. This is how you guys showed up. Culottes, combat boots, and chubbies.
That's what billionaires do, Rob. Billionaires don't try to impress you with their clothes or their cars.
Do you think
they just do what they want? And I would love to be in a position where I could show up to Bliss in a white T-shirt.
Well, you couldn't get in.
That's what
I show up right now.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be able to get to the point where it's like, yo, that's the billionaire. Of course,
Greasy
we let him
combat
in.
boots.
Yeah, of course we let him in. You're talking about
oil underneath your fingernails.
You're talking about Judd Nelson from Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it looked like that's
Judd Nelson.
If he'd have had a jean jacket on, a trucker jacket, Tim could have walked into Judd Nelson, held his fist up high. He looked like the rough and tumble dude, the golf dude in high school.
Yeah, I just watched that. It's on Netflix.
Tim looks like the guy you'd buy weed from after school.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like, and that's $1
and
billion right there.
And hook up with Molly Ringwald.
Hook up with Molly Ringwald. Do you think you want to be? Obviously, Wemby has an eye for fashion.
Oh gosh,
he grew up in Paris.
I saw his picture of him in the zebra print like jacket. It was fire. No, trust me, what he wore for his age group is fire.
So do you think
that's fire for them?
When he shows up for non-games this year, is he gonna have a fit? Is he gonna have a Paris behind him? Or is he gonna be Timmy doing just what's little is required?
He'll be on the Instagram page.
You think so?
Yeah, NBA fits. He'll be on there. He's a fashion guy.
We have never had that. That'll be a first for San Antonio.
I'm trying to think. Hold on.
Now, Danny tried to be a fashion dude, and I appreciate it.
Danny
but
had a little bit in it.
Not designer-esque Kyle Kuzma.
Because Keldon's
reserved.
Keldon's kind of chill too. Keldon's laid back. I haven't really seen Devin out, but Keldon's really laid back as well, like hoodie, t-shirts. He's not trying to make the NBA Fits page.
So is he going to make the Fits feed every week, every game?
Wemby's going to be on the Fits page. I mean, this is Paris, of course.
I think it's going to go the other way. I think next time we see him, he's going to be in chanclas and I don't know if these American shoes. These are great.
Hell no. He might be in some Crocs because that's what these kids wear.
Some big ass chanclas.
Some big ass
Those
Crocs.
are flippers, man. Size 20 and a half.
Yeah, 20 and a half. It's SA. It's all about being casual. The casual 5.
See, I think he's going to become the casual dude.
Nah, I don't want that.
But do we really want him showing up in the?
I need him in the NBA Fits. This is the biggest thing in sports history, according to Woj. In sports, not NBA. This is John Elway. This is Tom Brady. This is whoever you want to talk about first pick overall. Well, Tom was a 6th round, but you get where I'm going. LeBron, Zion, all in one. And he has the world watching us. I need him in a fit.
Well, the good news is the teal green shorts, the seafoam green shorts, they easily outplayed the culottes that Manu was wearing.
So if they come to his knees, where would they come to on me?
Oh, Manu's culottes or no Wemby's shorts? You'd look like Manu's culottes.
They went to his knees.
Well, actually, I think Manu was wearing Victor's shorts, and they just turned into culottes.
What?
Dude, I tried to take a picture of him in the presser. I wanted to.
Wemby?
Yeah. So on Saturday for the presser thing, and all the press were there, and I wanted to be smooth, cool.
You wanted to sneak it?
Well, they told us, hey, no pictures unless it's going straight to media and like going out. And we were like, beg your pardon.
Wow.
And then they came back and said, just no autographs. Take whatever you want. So I decided I'd get a little selfie video of him walking behind me.
Right.
And I wanted to give some scale. I'm 6'3.5", 6'4", depending on what shoes I have on. Wemby, I couldn't get my head and his head in the same frame.
You have to be 10 feet away.
I've never seen a human being move like that.
Is it graceful though?
It is graceful. That's just it. It is graceful.
As long as it's graceful, I'm down.
It is like he's attached on strings and the puppet guy's holding him from above. And he just kind of
call him
floats.
Jesus?
Well, I'm just saying he just kind of floats and he takes a 5-foot stride, man.
I love it.
Just floated right on by. Biggest thing I've ever seen.
Well, let's enjoy it because pretty soon I'm gonna be asking.
The summer pro keeps going. Don't forget, we have the schedule. We know when Wemby will either play or participate in the Las Vegas Summer League. I'm sure Jason Minix will speak a lot to that. Oh, by the way, there's a brand. We have Michelle Beadle is going to join the Blitz today at 2:30.
Yep.
We just found that out. Rudy and I got a lot of practice to do, some tape to watch, some writing to do, but we're going to get it all done, and we will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
It's R&R in the morning. Follow Rob at Rob Thompson ESPN.